It is Tuesday, July 28th. It is time to get in the weeds. The only daily wrestling morning show that covers more than WWE. We cover it all. If you know, you know. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That's SP3. How you doing, buddy?
I watched Monday Night Raw last night. That's how I've been answering everybody that texts me, "How you doing today?" And I just say, "I watched Monday Night Raw last night."
Yeah,
You
SP3
tell
and
me.
I were talking before we were on the show, and you watched it or you covered it for the Fightful post show last night.
Yeah.
You're going to do True Heel Heat later on
Mm-hmm.
for the Rated Raw review.
Yeah.
You got to review it again on Saturday for the flagship, you said.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about it today. And we've decided we're going to dedicate about 5 minutes maybe to Raw. And then we might do a best of 7 5-star Booker battle. Joel might join us, so that might take away our 5-star Booker battle because Joel has a lot to catch up on from the weekend.
Yes.
Look, folks, if you want Raw coverage and you want people to tell you that WWE Raw was the best show of all time and they're red hot going into SummerSlam, and SummerSlam is going to do gangbuster business, and man, Roman and Seth, it's the most detailed and layered story that WWE has ever done, and Cody and CM Punk, the animosity and the bitterness and the heat going into that match, and Danhausen, how he's just everywhere and what a superstar he is, and man, they're doing millions of viewers and they're doing hundreds of thousands of ticket sales, and you want to hear from your favorite WWE superstar? Head on over to WWE Radio on Sirius XM. All right, they will tell you all about how great WWE is doing right now. If you want to hear something a little bit different, you can stick.
If you
want
to hear the truth,
I wasn't gonna say that. If you want to hear a more non-paid answer, you can stick with us, and we will get through Raw in maybe about 10 minutes or so, because there just wasn't a whole lot going on with this show. There just wasn't too much with this show last night.
no.
It happened, though.
It was WWE saw AEW had their worst pay-per-view or the weakest pay-per-view of the year, with one of their worst segments that they've done this year with the Mick Foley barking like a dog segment, and said, "Hold my beer."
Do you buy Foley's explanation that he couldn't hear them?
I find it hilarious.
Yeah.
I really do.
I don't buy the explanation. I think he was just like trying to be funny, and it
Yeah.
failed. But
Yeah.
I appreciate that he tried. He tried. All right, a couple of super chats, guys. Leave a thumbs up on the video. That helps us out. Leave us a super chat. Subscribe to the channel. All of that fun stuff. A few super chats to get out of the way. C. Delgado says, it looks like the chance to be the voice of all wrestling has busted open for y'all. I think Voice of Wrestling does good work. People have their thoughts on certain people over there and their opinions on and their past comments, which I'm not going to defend. I don't know that person well enough. I do like Rich Craich. I've worked with Rich Craich in the past, but I've always liked them, and they do cover everything. Like, I give them a lot of credit for how much they actually cover. So I do like Voice of Wrestling. I don't even know if Lance is still there, honestly. I have no idea who's actually still over there. I don't know if Rich is still over there, but I do like Rich.
They're one of the few platforms that I contribute to for their year-end list. That I'm not like on, like Fightful or Wrestle Talk or True Hill Heat, but like them, I'm not really on their channel. I've never been on their channel. I've been on any of their podcasts, but they're cool people. I talk to them like in the DMs, and they usually send me like the link to vote for their year-end awards because they know that I watch a lot of wrestling.
They send it to me, and I always feel weird about like a lot of like way too many like publications or websites or accounts send me to like vote on their stuff. You send me to vote on you guys stuff, and I'm like, You don't want me to completely ruin your voting. Like that
This
won't
is
be
true.
good for anybody. I took the True Heel Heat Awards very serious last year. I did give
You did.
serious voting. I have that much respect for you and what you guys do.
I
Everybody
kind of
else,
do feel like it was a one time thing, and then when I send you the year end for 2026, you're gonna vote last night as the best segment of the year.
we'll see. I only do that on this show. Like if like again, if another website sends me their stuff, I will try to be as serious and as truthful because I'm not appearing on camera. So I gotta like
Mhm.
defend what I voted for. If that's the case, this show everyone gets me. Sadly,
This is true.
unfortunately for them. So like I can have these silly answers, but if I'm appearing on True Hill Heat, I don't want to, even though most of your audience I feel like gets me as well, or they very quickly would. I don't want to appear and you're doing best match and everybody's like, oh, John Moxley and Hangman Page, and I'm like, Nikki Bella and Liv
And
Morgan.
Stephanie McCare.
Yeah, and Stephanie McCare. Yeah, I don't think she actually wrestled Liv because Liv got hurt. It's like, yeah, this was the best match. We love Nikki Sawa out here. Oh yeah, I gotta appear and like actually defend my take, and I don't want to come off like a complete idiot on that stuff. But sometimes,
Fair.
sometimes have to. And Follow said, damn, SP3 reviewing this show 3 times in like 12 hours. Let's at least get Joel on for the Joel Slop segment. I don't know if Joel actually watched last night. Honestly.
I wouldn't blame him. Jesus Christ. Like that I think that a lot of wrestling fans needed last night's show to be like, you know what, that AEW pay-per-view wasn't that bad after all. I think that was what that WWE was doing the Lord's work for wrestling fans. That they needed to realize that what we got on Sunday was just an okay to good AEW pay-per-view. And they've been giving us great to all-timer pay-per-views. So we were very disappointed and acting like it was like a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10 show when it was just a 7 out of 10 show at best.
I think we all should apologize to the double chain match.
Yes. Yes. Because the double, I don't understand. Like when I went to sleep on Sunday, if you had told me by the time I went to sleep on Monday, I would see something worse this week than the double chain matchup, I would have told you were lying. I was like, yo, that was like honestly the worst AEW pay-per-view matchup I've seen in like 3 years. And then I just watched Monday Night Raw and I was like, well, you know what? It was a bad match. It was just a bad match. It wasn't no all-timer. This is all-timer stuff. This is the type of stuff you tell your kids about. I said it last night on the post show. I was like, Bailey, This Is Your Life, the New Day, Old Day segment, Bobby Lashley and his sisters, Mark Henry and Mae Young giving birth to a hand, the Danhausen and Joe Hendry concert segment. It's going to be in that rarefied air.
My wife didn't watch the start of Raw last night. She was sleeping through it. She worked very hard yesterday and just crashed before Raw came on. She woke up. She comes in the room. It's the Danhausen and Joe Hendry segment. And she looks and she just goes, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh, Danhausen and Joe Hendry are doing a concert. And she's like, I'm going back to sleep. And she walked out of the room and she went back to the couch and maybe she went back to sleep. And that was it. That was her entirety viewing of Raw. She did not come back in the room until Raw was over. Raw ended and she came back in. She's like, is Raw over? I was like, yeah, it just ended. She's like, okay, I'll come hang out with you now. She's like, I wasn't doing it. I wasn't watching it. I was like, that's fair.
She made the right choice.
That's
made
fair.
the right choice. My missus gave up on wrestling like 5 years ago.
Fair.
We met through wrestling, but she stopped watching wrestling like 2 to 3 years into our relationship. She was over it.
That's fair. Yeah. We went to I went to a family function over the weekend, and one of my I get well, it's my I'm not related to this person. It's my wife's brother's wife. Is what this person is, and she's like, oh yeah, since meeting my husband, I've learned more about wrestling than ever before. She was asking me like how work was going and everything.
Yeah.
So, since meeting my husband, I've learned more about wrestling than I have ever before. I just apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you have learned anything about professional wrestling. Like this sucks. He's more of like an old school fan though, so he's probably like telling her about Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Roddy Piper stuff, which is actually good.
The good old days.
Yeah. Yes, my brother-in-law's wife. Thank you. That I took a roundabout way. I took the scenic route to get there. SpongeBob Loves Graps took the actual point A to point B. Joel is here to talk about Joe Hendry and Danhausen. Joel, if you are not here to review this segment, just go ahead and leave.
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, Jeremy, but there's a time for concerts and there's a time for whatever the hell that was.
That was a concert.
That was a concert.
It was?
They put the con in concert. Boy, did they ever. Oh, boy. If you were in LA and you were watching that, you should have known what you were going to get, and baby, you got it. And then also, the transphobic racist piece of shit was also a part of that segment. But it's okay. But it's okay. Danhausen's going to go and tell his higher-ups that he won't work with people like that.
Here's the thing. Would I have defended this segment if Ryan Garcia was not involved?
Probably.
Yes.
Absolutely. We know
yes. Yes, 100% I would have. If they would have used, I'm trying to think of a non-problematic boxer, and I'm having a hard time, so insert non-problematic boxer here.
Is George Foreman problematic?
A little.
If they had used non-problematic boxer, I would have defended this segment because it was right up my alley as far as terribleness goes. I can't defend when they use people like Ryan Garcia. This dude sucks. This dude's terrible. All right? Like, yeah. Racist. Pretty sure he's a... I don't know if he's a MAGA person. I don't want to put that on. Definitely.
No, he is.
He's definitely racist, and
he's definitely racist
of the KKK.
Yeah, he's definitely transphobic. He's definitely a piece of shit. I'm pretty sure he wrote for Trump in 24. So
yeah. So, and maybe Canelo. Maybe Canelo's not problematic. Probably is, but I just assume all these people
sucks.
are.
Yeah, everybody sucks.
Yeah, I just assume all these people are. But yes. I would have probably defended it if they had used someone that wasn't Ryan Garcia that I can actually maybe not support, but it's like, okay, you know what? When I saw Ryan Garcia ringside, I was like, what? Like, I know you guys are open about this stuff. Like, you don't make it a secret. You like to promote how Triple H was at the White House and everything. But can we not? Can we just not put these people on television? Or if you're going to put them on television and show them in the crowd, leave it at that. Can we not put them in like any type of a segment? Because they add nothing to your television show. The wrestling fans don't really know who this person is. My wife just texted me, she's like, who's Ryan Garcia? That's the general reaction from wrestling fans. They have no idea who Ryan Garcia is. I follow combat sports, and I barely knew who Ryan Garcia was. I only knew who he was because of all the racist stuff. And then he had a fight, and he was on. He drained himself, and he did. I think he was involved in some type of scam, or he was on. He was
got
making
banned
threats
from the WBC.
Yeah, he was making threats, and like this is how I know who Ryan Garcia is, because of all his problematic stuff, not because I thought he was a social media boxer. I thought he was like an influence boxer when I first found out who he is. I was like, why the fuck am I covering this guy? Oh, he's got like 1 million followers. Okay, some influence boxer, and I guess we cover that stuff now. It's like, oh no, he's like a champion. He's like an actual boxer. That's how I learned who Ryan Garcia was at first, and then I kept learning about him. I was like, this guy sucks. Yeah. Most wrestling fans have no idea who this guy is. So he adds nothing to your television show. I get that, it's the Zuffa boxing crossover and all this. Wrestling fans don't care about that.
No,
they don't. This is not Jalen Brunson. This is not Karl Anthony Towns. NBA champions who the New York crowd especially was going to go crazy for. Most wrestling fans know who the Knicks are. Most wrestling fans, especially in the past month, have heard about Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. Ryan Garcia, no one knows who the fuck this guy is.
I mean, look where they put him. What did you expect? They put him in a Joe Hendry segment. Yes, Danhausen was there.
Yeah, they put him in a Danhausen segment though.
Yes,
Danhausen's like their biggest star
they
right now.
They put him in a Danhausen and Joe Hendry segment. Like they knew that this was not. They knew this was going to be campy and not good. But then he aligns with the Judgment Day, and it was just like, all right, sure,
at least they made him a heel.
Yeah, but he's, I don't know. They want to try and make him a bad boy, and they want to try and. I mean, he's already a piece of shit, so I guess he's just going to fit in properly. But it wasn't shocking because everything that you're saying, Jeremy, is true. There are much bigger stars that they've trotted out and they've gotten some sort of reaction for. But in this case, this is just one of those. It's corporate synergy. We have a fight with him, and we're going to put him out there because maybe we'll convert 1 or 2 eyes, and those 1 or 2 eyes is better than 0 because we didn't try it. And this is their way of doing it. They're hoping that wrestling fans, because the guy got involved in the wrestling angle, they're going to want to go watch him box and boo him, I guess, because Zuffa is going to try to create faces and heels just like everyone else is trying to do these days. It was stupid. Taking out Ryan from the segment, and I know that's when you would probably have enjoyed it. This segment itself was like an attempt at camp, which works for Danhausen, but it doesn't work for Joe Hendry. The Joe Hendry character is not camp. It's him doing parody for the sake of comedy, whereas Danhausen is comedy. It's camp comedy. And you can't mix those two, especially with those two characters, because Joe is very serious about who he is, and Danhausen is not. Danhausen is Danhausen. So they thought putting the two meme wrestlers together was the answer, when really it is probably the worst thing you can do, because it's just two, they're not polar opposites. They're effectively the same, just on different ends of a spectrum. It was very strange. I knew when they announced it last week, I was like, this is going to suck. I even said, I'm going to skip on because of this. And I was like, wow, this aged well, because it was absolutely horrible. Danhausen's never been a music guy, so you knew it was just going to sound bad. And Joe Hendry takes himself so seriously that he was not going to, be enjoying what he's doing. It's just, I don't know. You could see it in their eyes that they were just like, we're just doing this because they were telling us to do it. And we got to hit our marks. And that was it. It was just not a good segment whatsoever.
I don't think they.
I think that Joel is giving WWE way too much credit when he said that they know that it's camp. They know that it's bad. They don't.
No. I think Danhausen knows when his creative is supposed to be camp. I'm not saying WWE creative does. I think Danhausen, when he's involved, he knows what to play up in his segment or in his creative.
I just believe that WWE knows how to say certain things to convince these talent of what they're doing is good.
And
as long as it gets the viral numbers that they're looking for, Triple H will say, man, all these people thought the Joe Hendry Danhausen segment was a failure, but I just saw the social media numbers and it was an unmitigated success.
I hear you.
That's their mentality. Their mentality is they're going to live in an echo chamber. And as long as they say it's good, as long as the metrics say it's good, then it's good. It don't matter how many fans say that this is the worst thing they ever saw. No matter how many fans are sitting there in silence as they're singing a song and everybody's like, what the fuck is going on? Like that was one of the weirdest crowd react. And I literally just watched an AEW pay-per-view that had 3 straight matches with no crowd reaction. But that was weirder, seeing a freaking full-on performance with dancing with the Clippers dancers, and you just see the entirety of Into Dome sitting there in silence, just like, what is going on? And I'm sitting on my couch being like, what is going on right now?
I wonder how this would have played in, like, I don't know, Fort Wayne, Indiana, a smaller town, not LA, because LA is LA. LA is going to be full of themselves. Like, they're not going to react to this stuff. I wonder how it would have played out in a smaller town that's not, the entertainment capital of the world type of feeling. Because it sucked.
I don't know if they would have cared about Joe Hendry. I don't think, and Joel, you kind of alluded to it, Joe Hendry and Danhausen like don't mix because it's too much of the same. Except Danhausen actually like gets his stuff over, and Joe Hendry is so on and off with everything. And I just don't know like how much the crowd actually cares about Joe Hendry on these things. Where Danhausen now, as the headline says, is it too much Danhausen? I think we're slowly getting there, but I'm not going to deny this dude's popularity when it comes to this stuff. Now, is he involved in probably too many segments? Yes. Like, he doesn't need to be doing stuff like this with Joe Hendry. No. You want to do the backstage stuff with Danhausen and just like Judgment Day attacks him, and then you set up the stuff. Yeah, and then you set up the Human Monies on a pole match, which blessed that they're bringing back a pole match. You want to do that? Like, fine. No problem with that. Putting him in a segment with Joe Hendry just kind of kills what Danhausen is actually about.
And Joe Hendry is not a dancer. Joe Hendry does these little song and dance. He does these little songs and plays his guitar. He's not a dancer. So asking him to do a whole dance routine that he did like the two moves like this, and he was over it. He was over it, and he was just like, "Oh God!"
He should have started doing the Emma.
Get the Clippers dancers out here, please.
And they were looking at the aisle too, because someone messed up the cues for the Clippers dancers. Like, they didn't have a camera there on time, so they were both looking like, "Are they coming? We need to be saved right now. Can we please get the Clippers dancers out here?" And they're just like, they're standing there with their Danhausen masks on, and they all can't wait to take those off and reveal who they really are. It was just, everything about it was not well done at all.
No. And I'm scared that they don't know that. They don't know that how bad that came across.
Well, they don't, because there's another show right now over on WWE Radio that's probably praising the shit out of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did my...
Oh, you got a lot out of that.
Yeah, I muted that tweet because I saw certain people retweeted it, and I was like, never mind. I'm good.
It went so fast.
I'm good.
What was the tweet?
All it was like, for those wondering, there was no AEW Redemption talk or discussion on Busted Open today. That's it. That's all I put out there. And, that got into the wrong sphere of things, and I got called a lot of names because I don't understand how things work. Like, I get it. It's WWE Radio. I'm not pretending like they have to cover AEW. I don't expect them to. Truthfully, I don't. I'm not dumb enough to think that they're going to give some big review for AEW Redemption on a network called WWE Radio, where like, here's my point. Don't tell me nothing's going to change, and then you don't cover the AEW pay-per-view. That's all.
Yeah.
If you had said on Friday, you know what, we might pull back on our AEW coverage, and we're probably going to talk about WWE a lot more. We're going to have more WWE guests on the show, and we might not get around to the wrestling world as much as we usually do here on Busted Open Radio. If you had said that, I don't send that tweet at all. I don't care enough to send that tweet. You tell me nothing's going to change, and then you don't cover an AEW pay-per-view, I'm going to let people know, hey, you didn't cover it. And then people had to explain to me that it's WWE Radio now. Like, I don't get how this works.
Yeah, all they had to do was not send out a nothing changes message, and they could have avoided literally not all of the backlash, but a substantial amount of it. If you just tell us what you're going to do, then people will choose accordingly. People will unsubscribe based on their enjoyment of pro wrestling, whether they just want WWE talk or not. But you tell them, like, nothing's changing, nothing's gonna, we're still gonna do the rants, and we're still gonna talk about everything. And it's like, Well, you've proven, a couple days in that you are not, in fact, doing that. Even your socials, people got on them on the what was it, Sunday, because during the pay-per-view, a bunch of people were pointing it out. Busted Open sent out a poll. What was your match of the week? And it was 3 WWE matches and the TNA main event that featured a former WWE talent who happens to be the world champion in TNA. And granted, listen, that match itself was very good. However, there were better matches on Dynamite, and there were good matches. There were great matches on Collision too. But God forbid we give anything like that. So here we are. It was exactly what we expected. And
people are saying that people are more upset with you than LaGreca. People are bringing up the Ricochet tweet. Really? I muted once I saw a certain person retweeted it. Yeah. Once I saw that, I was like, nope, I'm done with this. I know who's about to reply to me, and I got no time for it. So if people have been calling me names or bringing up stuff I have or have not covered in the past, which I did cover, then all right, they are wasting their time with the reply because they ain't getting shit out of me.
You also ended up on Reddit on Squared Circle.
Oh boy,
did I?
Yeah, that's
what did they say on Reddit.
I think most of the people were the same way. It was the balance. It's like, it's WWE radio. What do you expect? But that's not the argument. And then the problem is, in our universe or in the weeds, whatever, we know what the context of the conversation is. So not everyone is included. We know why Jeremy tweeted that out. People who are watching and paying attention to what the messaging was from Busted Open, they know why Jeremy tweeted it out. But other people who don't know, they were rightfully saying it's WWE radio, what do you expect? Because they don't know. There's a disconnect. But other people were like, well, if Dave LaGreca hadn't done this, then he wouldn't be having to tweet this. And that's true. That's just what it comes down to. If everyone would have left it alone. So again, Reddit can be level-headed. Yeah, like Ken Bruno saying, it was actually painless because people understand where we were coming from, where Jeremy's coming
I think they like me on Reddit for one reason or another.
You're a troll like they are. You're just not on their. Yeah. You're just not on their website doing it.
Exactly.
Fair.
They hate me. They love you.
Every time I see myself on Reddit, it seems like mainly people are mad at Sean, and then people are like, yeah, Sean sucks, but Jeremy seems okay. I was like, all right, you know what, I'll take that.
You're one of them.
That's still bad that I ended up on Reddit at all. That sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. Why is that on Reddit? Who gives a fuck?
Again, I think the person who posted it knows what the context was. They understand what
I check Reddit and I didn't even see that shit.
It was on the front page, and I always sort by new when I start, just to see.
Same.
And then I was like, let's see what's going on the hot side of things. What's popular? And
I check new as well because look, I don't check the comments and everything on Reddit because God forbid, but they do have news. They do. They have news on Reddit. So I do I try to check news sources, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't see it yesterday. Maybe I just successfully
avoided it.
That sounds terrible.
But like Ken said in the chat, and like I'm saying to you now, it was fine. It was relatively painless. The people who got it, and they understood.
I'm not gonna go looking for it. That sounds. I'm not reading all that shit.
Don't do it.
No, I've avoided it now. I just didn't realize it ended up there. Yeah. Okay.
I would think to saying you're Reddit personified.
I don't know.
That good or bad, you can decide. That's fine.
Cito Gato said in the comments on every Busted Open social media post since Friday have been gold. Again, I don't tweet that if you don't tell me nothing's gonna change. Yeah. I don't listen to your show unless you have interviews, which they had interviews with Seth Rollins and CM Punk yesterday. Good for them.
Did you see? Sorry, the reaction to the Seth clip that went up. Everyone was like, "Oh, look at poor Dave. He's so sad. He can't. He's just looks like he's just going through things and going with it." And I'm like, "No, he's not.
No,
he's in an interview. He's just looking at his notes. What are you talking about?
He's smiling." His wallet is smiling too.
His wallet's happy. His wife is defending him on the internet. You're good.
Really?
Yeah, someone posted something about. Yeah, she reached out about stuff. Anyway, Listen, again, make your money. It's fine. I have nothing against these guys making money, and they were given the option. If when the takeover happens, do you want to be a part of it? And
Yeah.
I would take the money. I'm sorry. Like in this business, there is none of it. And when you can get an opportunity to make a good living off of it, you're going to do it. You're not doing something that is incendiary. You're not doing something that is going to hurt the world. You're basically just now going to talk exclusively about one or two wrestling promotions instead of all of them. And for some people, that's honestly that's easier for them, because covering all of this can be a lot. Like SP3, you know it because you're watching much more than I am for sure, and even sometimes covering more than Jeremy does on a match to match basis. Like, you get it. It can be a lot sometimes.
Oh, it is. It definitely is. Like, I understand the move. I don't think there's anything wrong with the decision that they made. It's all the response afterwards. It's everything they said afterwards, which is really kind of being put in the spotlight, put in the microscope on, because they lied to their viewers. They lied to their community. They said nothing was going to change, and then they changed something huge about it. Because like I said, I've said before on this podcast that, before Busted Open Radio it started off as very pro WWE, but as the years gone by and they would have different people like a Bully Ray when he was working with ROH, or Nick Nemeth since he's been with TNA, and TNA since they've formed the partnership with WWE, and even at times like the independents, Japanese. I've heard Dave LaGreca talking about Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada almost a decade ago. Like, they have talked about all these different promotions. So you have basically caused like you've set a standard to your audience that you will address and acknowledge all forms of professional wrestling, not just one particular company. And that's why it's not wrestling radio, it's WWE radio now. Now you are kind of taking that standard away, taking that precedent away, and saying, hey, screw all these other companies, screw pro wrestling. We're only focused on WWE now. And then you lie to them about it. It's going to come off the wrong way.
I do not care that they are WWE radio. I'm happy for LaGreca, if anybody. Like the former wrestlers, whatever, they're making money. They're gonna continue to make money. I'm happy for LaGreca, who's been doing this for decades now.
15 at this point.
Yeah, and now he's getting, he's probably getting the biggest money that he's ever gotten in this space. That's great for him. I'm happy for him. I don't care that they're WWE radio. I don't care that they're only covering WWE. Just say that. That's as simple as it is. Just say, hey guys, we're probably only gonna be covering WWE now. It maybe we can cover AEW, but don't expect it anymore. Like, all right, cool. I move on. I listen to your interviews, which again I've praised.
Yep.
And we go forward from that. When we get bought out by AEW and we join the AEW podcast network, I will tell people we are not going to cover WWE. If you want WWE coverage, go elsewhere. Go to WWE Radio. They will cover WWE for you. We will only be talking about AEW. We have 15 minutes with AEW talent. We will only ask them about AEW. We will not ask them about other promotions, politics, or religion. And we have 15 minutes and only 15 minutes to talk about AEW. Please refrain from asking about anything else. That's what I will tell people when AEW Podcast Network buys us out. I will not say nothing on this show is going to change.
That's right. We'll all be there with bells on.
Ah, shit! I found the thread. I'm not clicking on it. It's got a lot of likes.
I'm telling you,
it's got a lot of upvotes.
It was level-headed conversation. Like, it does happen sometimes on Reddit. There are some things that people don't just dogpile.
Yeah, it's got 551 upvotes. That sounds terrible, honestly. Wow. But
so there you go. C. Delgado saying Denise was asked about it on our post show last night and said, from my understanding, we're now only talking about WWE on Busted Open. So,
which
was
pretty obvious yesterday when they did not talk about AEW after a pay-per-view.
And like,
again,
nobody's stopping the talent who work for Busted Open from doing content on their own privately owned channels. They will continue to do what they want to do, right? If I'm not going to speak for Denise, but I'm sure if she's given the option to continue doing stuff on her YouTube that is not WWE specific, she'll keep doing it because she loves watching and talking about wrestling from all across the world. So I wouldn't expect her to give that up, but she's told you what the understanding is from her end.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine, and she's doing the right thing that Dave LaGreca should have done, and just been honest about it.
Yeah, that's it. Denise Salcedo should be running that channel.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I've been hired by different YouTube channels to just review Friday Night SmackDown. So on that Friday Night SmackDown show, from time to time, I would mention AEW, but most of the time I'd be talking about WWE. I think that's totally fine for like the freelancers, the people that they hire as hosts to come in and do that. But like you said, it starts from the top, and Dave kind of messed up by not just being upfront about it.
Look, they're going to get more listeners because it's WWE, and people who don't like AEW and all that stuff is like, oh, great. That now I don't have to deal with any of the AEW talk. We could just talk WWE. And they're going to run off listeners because it's like, well, I want more variety coverage here. Come join us where we cover everything. We cover more than just WWE, the only daily wrestling morning show that covers more than WWE. Oh, it's going to happen. Again, that's fine. Just be honest.
And we cover more than WWE and AEW. You got Joel
cover
here,
basketball.
who's a TNA expert.
Well, I don't know how much longer, but we'll see.
Oh, he's threatening this again.
Oh, God.
Listen, they got a live show on Thursday, and I don't think I'm doing lockdown because I found out that. Remember your
when is lockdown?
August 23rd. Remember, it's a Sunday. Do you remember your 24-hour live stream?
I don't know shit, crybaby.
Do you remember your 24-hour live stream?
No, I try not to remember anything from that.
That's what I remembered. Anyway, so if you remember, Macklin and Deanna were on with us, and he said, did he mention we'll do our next quarterly interview? Did he say that? Yeah, he said that on the air. So anyway, then they announced this past weekend that he's going to be in Toronto on the 23rd of August, which is the same day as lockdown. And not only that, Deanna's also coming for that show. So the opportunity for me to do a sit down with both Deanna and Steve is much more important to me than covering TNA Lockdown, because I have no interest in covering the all cage pay-per-view where they're probably going to do a lot of the same cage
matches.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The thing I said on my post shows, it's like you got to find a way to tell 8 different stories in a cage, not using the same cage tropes. So good luck to you. I don't know if that's what I want to do.
They've never been able to do that. That's why most TNA fans were happy when Lockdown went away.
Yeah,
I love Lockdown.
I'll be happier at Northern Crown Wrestling. Shout out to them. They're fantastic and fun. Seeing people that I genuinely enjoy talking with on a camera for 20 minutes at a time. So
I love Lockdown because I love the origin story of Lockdown.
They had a cage and they couldn't put it.
They couldn't put it up. They couldn't take it down and put it back up. So they decided to leave it up.
Yeah, that's hilarious to me that they're like, we're going to do 2 cage matches. And then they wanted to open and close the show with the cage matches. And they realized, wait, fuck, we can't take this cage down. Every match is now in a cage.
We've got breaking news. Every match is in the cage. They said it at the beginning of the show. They just announced it. Like, every match.
The origin story of Lockdown is the funniest thing to me. And that's why I love Lockdown.
Now you have Lockdown in an actual building where a cage could technically be lowered and raised, but instead, who cares?
Keep the bid up.
About that life.
Yeah, keep the.
Yeah, Lockdown was better when it was 6 sides of steel.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. But we've got we got that.
Yeah, show. What the fuck?
Good for him.
What did he say? Why is he talking about mid match? Doesn't he? Did he lose? That's probably why he lost. He's too worried about me.
He was in a battle royal at Revolver.
His Revolver, yeah.
What did he say about Jeremy? What did he say about Jeremy?
I'll fight Cole Radrick.
I hope he told you to write an article about him because he's back. Well, that's fair.
I refuse.
He's come back with a chip on his shoulder. Good for him.
He's wrestling everywhere. We love Cole. We do love Cole. He
Even when he
sucks,
talks shit about
but
you
we
mid
love
match.
him.
I hope
Yeah,
it's not
mid match. What the fuck, man?
I think it's time. I think it's listen. If we get close to a special,
Wait.
it might be time.
Hold on. Did this happen? It's on YouTube. What was the spot? I want to listen to this.
Amazing.
I went in the weeds and he turned around and said, "Fuck Jeremy."
What was he doing? Like,
Must have been.
I want to watch this and see what the hell this is all about.
This is all leading to a match between Jeremy and Cole Rodriguez.
Bless
and
Cole.
Bob Shaw.
He's just gonna put me through a table, and
God
that'll be the
It's gonna
match.
be over in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. It's not gonna. There's gonna be 2 hits: him hitting me and me hitting the ground, and that's gonna be that. He was outside for a rest spot. Oh, okay. So it probably wasn't caught on camera. All right. Well, that's fine. Otherwise, I would listen to it. Well, that's.
And you got to take out your phone and record it.
I yelled at him. I yelled at some when I was at the Parkade. He was in the ring, and he was trying to beat up a little girl, and they're doing like a face off, and I yelled at the girl to kick him in the dick, and he was not happy with me about that.
Well, maybe you should take advice and get kicked in the dick once in a while.
Cole trying to get a viral moment by using Jeremy's. Yeah, I'm Reddit famous. What the hell is Cole Radrick?
Exactly. Reddit personified over here.
Nah, Cole's great. We do love Cole, but fuck him. He'll never be on our show again when we're AEW. When we're AEW branded.
That's the thing, he will be, because he keeps showing up on indie events that people actually talk about, where AEW talent tend to also.
That's true. We can actually talk about the indies on my AEW, because they do a bunch of indie events. So we can actually we could
talk about New Japan as well.
That's true.
Partner. Their partner promotion. CMLL. We could talk about Stardom.
Imagine we just couldn't ask.
TJPW.
Imagine we just couldn't ask any WWE questions to the talent.
It's fine. Listen, it's just like being in a TNA interview.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, TNA, but you can't ask any questions. That was my whole spiel.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just bringing it back, but also it's funny when you think about that. It's just like, so you're gonna get the newest AEW signee, and they're from WWE, and you can't ask them about WWE. You'd be like,
It's like
so. Well, they probably had a different name in WWE, so could we just ask them about their different name? So,
like, do you know the whereabouts of Scott Dawson, Dex?
Yeah, that's all we could ask. That's it.
Mike, how was your cruise in the Montanas?
I know people are mad about this stuff, and all right, it's just because
I'm not mad, but
You're just
that's funny.
No. I will be mad because I feel like this is the go-to thing is now. Oh, I'm dedicating this to my deceased relative. I'm sorry. It's too many times. It's too many times where it's like, okay, now I know that this is just a company directive at this point.
You're right, though, because this is how they take the heat off every time, and they put the talent in the line of fire and be like, "Here, it's your name, you defend it," and then they'll listen to you because no one else is gonna care. And yeah, it was exactly as expected. It was guy gets new name, it's trademarked, the speculation starts, he confirms the name, and then afterwards the backlash starts, and then they got to be like, guys, it was my brother's cousin's, dog twice removed who died in Afghanistan, and he's super important to me, so I want to commemorate their name by doing this. And like C. Delgado's saying, the issue is he was Mike Santana on NXT.
Yeah, that's my issue.
No, not last year. In March.
Yeah.
March.
Yes. So it
ain't even a full calendar year away. It was in March.
So when a Royce Keys changes his name or a Mariah May becomes Blake Monroe, I get it. They've not been on WWE television officially in any capacity. So that stuff doesn't bother me at all. When I see Mike Santana, former TNA world champion, is on the show, they're like, all right, well, you got a new name now, and it's Cruz Montana, because we don't want people Googling Mike Santana and finding out that you worked for AEW. So now we're just going to completely erase that, make you start fresh, new IP, and good luck to you. And he's like, well, I can't work the indies anyway, so what does it matter if you call me Cruz Montana Montoya Monlana? Sure, whatever, here we are.
Yeah, I don't care that he changed his name. Like, we'll get used to the new name. Like, Gunther, you barely remember, is Walter at this point. Like, he's Gunther. So, like, it's fine. But that is my issue with it as well. Is like, you had this guy as Mike Santana for the past year and a half on your TV, and now you're just going to change it to Cruz Montana. Like, what was the point of that? We've seen him as Mike Santana. These other people, okay, fine. They've never been on your television. You want to change their name? Sure. Change their name. You want to, they like to own these names and everything, so you can only use them here. And then it's very hilarious where they own these names and then they go away once they get released, and then they come back and Zack Ryder is Matt Cardona, although they're trying to change it back to Zack Ryder anyway, because they're like, yeah, this Matt Cardona stuff sucks, so we need you to be Zack Ryder again. And when Nick Nemeth and Dolph Ziggler and all that, if Nemeth ends up coming back, you want to change their name, fine. Change their name. But he was on TV as Mike Santana. What are we doing with this? Why are we doing this? Makes no sense to me.
SEO, baby.
Always is what it is. It just feels like so not like there's no structure to who gets the name change and who doesn't. Like, I mean, I understand if it's like, oh, you're a star of a certain level, you get to keep your name. Like, it was understandable when Jade Cargill did. And then you turn around and Ethan Page can keep his names, but Mike Santana can't? That's just weird.
I think the structure is how much of the IP are you willing to give up to WWE to keep it? That's all it comes down to.
True. Because Santana trademarked his name like before free agency. And so, because they got Joe Gacy's name. Joe Gacy had his name, and he kept his name. And I think he fully gave it up when he was there. And so now they're using Joe Gacy, or they have Joe Gacy. Now he's got to go by Joseph Sawyer on the Indies, even though he was previously Joe Gacy on the Indies. So, yeah, I actually think some of these wrestlers are cool with it because they're like, yeah, I don't want to give up this trademark because you might release me in 6 months, and then I can't be Ricky Starks anymore. Then I can't be Mike Santana anymore. Now I got to get a new indie name, and I don't want to have to do that. That sounds terrible, so I'll just change it for WWE. I do think that's a big deal with things, is they don't want to give up ownership of the name. It's not just that WWE wants to change it. It's they're okay changing it because they know they could be released at any time, and so they want to be able to keep using the name they were previously using instead of having to change it on the indies. Because look, Mike Santana, let's say, for example, we wish Mike Santana nothing but the best. I hope he has a job there forever. Just trying to use an example. Let's say he was Mike Santana in WWE. He just got to use that, but he gave up his name to WWE. Let's say again, I'm not trying to wish this on anybody. Please don't take this out of context. Let's say he leaves WWE. He doesn't get released. He just has to leave. He leaves in a year. Well, now he's back in TNA. Now he's back on the Indies. He's back wherever. But now he doesn't have his IP. Now he's got to be Cruz Montana on the Indies. Like, no one's gonna.
He can't even be that.
Well, no, I'm saying that. Well, no, I'm saying he never gave. He was never Cruz Montana in WWE. I'm saying he now changes his name to Cruz Montana or whatever else. Like, now he's Cruz Montana on the Indies. It's like, wait, who is this?
He could just be. Just be Big Mike.
Nah, he's not big enough to be Big Mike. Like I said, they should
just Santana. I'm sure that'll go over well. Santana. Coming out to smooth.
No, his name would be Santana Was Good. What they say at the beginning of his theme song, Santana Was Good.
That's the thing. So they're going to give him a shitty new theme, and he's no longer going to. He should have been Bjorn Naste, but he doesn't get to have that.
Nah, Santana gonna call up the guy who did his theme song, be like, "Can you send me a voiceover with you saying Montana was good?" That's all they need to edit.
It's 100% true. WWE wants to own 100%, whatever it is. So give us your name, and we'll provide you a new name. Yes, in a good world, in a fair and just world, which we don't live in, he could just be Mike Santana in WWE because he owns the name, and if he happens to leave WWE, he could still be Mike Santana on the indies because he owns the name. That's what would happen in a fair and just world. We don't live in a fair and
It could
just
be
world.
Michael Santiago.
Bookmark this. Remember this. 100% yes. They're gonna.
No, I think it's gonna be Cruise the
Control.
Block. Cruise the
Cruise
block.
the block. Yeah,
Cruise the
I
block.
can see Cruise
Yeah.
the block.
He's
Instead of
got
Spin the
another
Block.
one.
Shout out to the GOAT, Andrew Thompson. He's the one that said that one.
That's a good. He's
didn't
got
take that.
Cruise the
another.
block.
But he's got
Cruise the block.
he's got two finishers though. Like he's got the spin the block and he's got rolling buck 50. That'll be called cruise
That
control.
ain't his finisher. That's a signature.
One of
That
his-
never
that's one of his
beat anybody.
signatures. But
That
the point-
move never beat anybody.
Thanks, Roman. Yes, the cruise control. That'll be the rolling buck 50, and I think cruise the block would be the spin the block for sure.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Cruise the Block. We'll find out when he has his first match 2 months from now. Nah, I assume
No,
he'll
it's
have
gonna
it
be
at,
on Sunday, August 30th.
yeah, I was gonna say, I assume he'll have it at Heat Wave. Yeah.
Going up against AEW All In.
Oh,
well,
God.
I mean, I guess it'd be later that day.
Stupid counter.
No, they're going up at the
bullshit.
same time.
Are they? Oh, it's the afternoon. You're right.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Because it's an
Yeah.
afternoon show. Yeah,
He waves
Heat
going
Wave-
up at the same. He waves at the same time as All In.
it's
Why?
it's Worlds Collide that we don't know for sure yet.
That's a good question.
There's a Worlds Collide show that day?
No.
No. There's a Triple A show that day.
Yeah,
The
no,
Triple A show is starting at the start of All In.
yeah. My
And then it
Worlds
goes right
Collide.
into the NXT show.
My Worlds Collide comment was they haven't told you what time that show starts. If it's going to be an afternoon show or if it's going to be directly in competition with All Out. That's what I was getting at. But yeah, the other ones, that's going to go up with All In.
Yep.
We saw it coming. We knew this was going to
Hey,
happen. It's just
I'm happy I might be at Wembley Stadium. I don't have to worry about covering both shows.
good on you.
Yeah.
Jeremy will have both TVs going.
Congrats.
I didn't do anything to Jeremy that he didn't already know.
Me either.
I didn't know this. I thought they were starting at different times.
How did you not know? You reported it.
Yeah, but I forget. I don't have a good memory. I knew like it was the same day, but I was like, oh yeah, All In's in the afternoon. That's fine. Heat Wave will be it in the evening. Fine. It's just a full day
That
of
would
wrestling.
be so nice of WWE to do. So that's how.
So
you
wait,
know
hold
that-
on,
that
hold on,
you
hold
were
on,
wrong.
hold on.
That you were wrong
So-
to think that.
So All In is in the afternoon, obviously.
Yeah, All In's
So-
gonna start at about 1 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, so Heat Wave is what time?
Heat Wave's gonna start about 3 p.m. Eastern. The Triple A show starts at 12 p.m. Eastern.
Wait, noon? There's a
Yes,
AAA
noon.
show?
Yeah.
There's a Triple A. They're doing a
12
6-hour block, basically. They're doing a 3-hour or 2.5-hour Triple A show right into the.
Why is there a AAA show?
Because they have
Because they know that one show can't be the length of an AEW show, so they had to do 2.
Are they doing anything on Sunday night?
probably not.
No,
Is there a TNA show that I'm gonna have to fucking cover?
no,
Not as of right now.
not right now.
Who knows what they'll do?
Who knows?
Wait a minute. When's no, because lockdown's the week before. So no,
Yeah.
there probably won't be anything.
What?
Yeah, 11
They
a.m.
have a whole. Is there anything on Saturday? They got a whole day on Saturday.
Nope,
No.
nope, not
No.
doing anything on
That's too
Saturday.
much. There's
They
collision.
were originally going to do Money in the Bank on that Saturday, but they moved that.
They have all day Saturday. They could do Sunday night. What?
If you want a ticket, it's
I don't. I don't want to. I don't want to watch it from my home. I definitely don't want a ticket.
$49 is your get-in price. If
No.
you want floor seats are up to $291.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh,
What?
from $291. I guess if you really want, you can $719.
No.
Well, to be fair, Raphael saying you thought All In last year was long. England is going to know no sleep by the time TK is done to beat them in the ground. 2-hour Omega Osprey. Here we come. I know you're probably being sarcastic, but the thing with Wembley Stadium shows, there's a curfew, so that's the bright side.
That's fair. Remember, it was very funny how everyone in Montreal was like, "Oh, they're gonna end early because the metro closed," and I'm like, "Well, it's not because of that, but you can keep talking. It's not going to be as early as you think it's going to end. It's going to end as the last train is leaving."
No. Like literally, I had the best seat in 2024 because the clock was right there. Like I was right across from camera side, so the clock was right there. So I literally told shout outs to the homie NK that I went with. I was like, they're gonna end this show by 11. They gotta get everybody out of here by 11. So the show's ended by 11.
Show ended at 11:50. Grays, don't you dare! I was there. We stayed there until the end. We stayed there. We were told media at the end of the match go up, and no, everyone waited until the end of that segment, to the end of that beatdown. Yeah, it was 11:50. I was sitting next to the master clock. I was sitting next to the master clock, just below hard cam. I was looking at the time. It was 11:50. Don't you start.
Michael said Jeremy's aged like 10 years in the last 10 minutes.
He was doing so well, and then we brought down reality.
We told him the truth. It's like everybody's been hiding the truth from.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't know anything about this.
Sorry,
I feel like you got. I quit.
Are you sure?
I'm only gonna cover AEW on Monday. I'm not gonna cover. You wanna hear NXT and AAA talk? Go to that other channel on August 31st.
That's what we should do. That's what we should do. We should do, like, if y'all want to talk about AAA and NXT, go over there. If you want to talk about AEW, we here.
Listen, it's okay. There's plenty of places, like SP3 said, where you can go get the talk about NXT. But you know what? All in, it's gonna be a 12-hour show anyway, so it's not like we won't have what to talk about for at least 2 hours on our. So it's just as good.
Oh my god, I can't believe. Why are they doing?
Joel, did you give Audio Peeps suggestion on their stuff? So funny story.
I hate these people.
We got to the press conference for this. I guess we can talk a bit about it. Anyway, we get to the press conference, and I sit down in my spot, and I set up, and then the guy behind me is there's a camera op, and then behind him is the audio guy, the audio op. And after he gets finished being like, "Hey, when you're talking to the microphone, please, talk like this. Don't talk like this with it down at your chest." And I giggled. And then he was talking to somebody else about a full microphone, and I was like, "You got 4 mics up there. There's a wireless." And he looks at me like I'm insane, and I'm like, 1, 2, 3 on the dais, and then there's one there that's usually for Renee. And then he looks at me again, and he gets up there and he just moves it around. I was like, "You were looking for a 4th microphone. It's right there." So yes, I tried, but I was then ignored. But hell of a day. They also did it on the 2nd level concourse. They literally brought us up to they didn't use a different room. They brought us up to the 2nd level concourse, and we all got stuffed into a corner. I was sitting next to what was where they sell pizza. So I was next to a pizza. That's Little Caesars. That's the difference. But anyway, yeah, it was a very interesting experience, this particular post press conference. But all the clips are up on my channel, Joel Pearl Working. That's all cut up for you. Jeremy, are you okay? You just into the microphone.
I feel like the Michael Scott. I'm going to kill myself.
At least declare bankruptcy first.
Like, it's so funny to me that you didn't know this.
I legitimately
you knew you just
no.
Subconsciously but because it's a month away, like you don't clock it. I get that.
I knew Heat Wave was August 30th. It legitimately took me a little bit to register that, oh yeah, that's also the day of All In. And then I just thought that Heat Wave was like after All In because I knew
he's like it's no problem. It's no problem.
Yeah, because I knew All In was the afternoon.
After.
I knew All In was the afternoon, so I was like, oh yeah, Heat Wave must be at like 7 o'clock. So cool, it's just a full day of wrestling, whatever. It's just gonna be a long day, but fine. I didn't realize there was also a AAA show, and I didn't realize they were at the same time. I either didn't know or I just completely blocked it out because, yeah, it's a month away. Either way, it was not in my memory or brain that, like, all of this was happening at once. And I feel like I'm just finding out for the first time about this. And now I'm very upset, and I'm done, Gus. I'm done. I hate all of this.
It's okay. We're here for you, sir. We're here for you. We're here for you. Hey, don't worry, guys. Xeno Hour will enjoy that AAA and NXT show.
Fuck Xeno Hour.
I agree. That's why I said he's gonna enjoy those two shows instead of All In, because he's an NXT guy, guys. I'm not a WWE guy. I'm an NXT guy.
Joel, you did a very good job at the press conference.
Thank you.
I want to talk about something else
You did.
that isn't my misery right
Fine.
now.
We can talk about that. We can talk about the whole weekend. Do you want to start with the presser?
Yeah, let's work from behind how I never mind.
Relax.
My wife is over here. So.
There it is.
I said I'm going to work from behind how I like to work you. I have to boost my mood, baby. I'm in a terrible mood right now.
So it had been a very long day. I can tell you that. I was up at 7 a.m. and we all knew that it was going to be a very long day, to the point where I'll fast forward in a minute, but going back, JPJ from Love Wrestling, shout out to him. He was with me for most of the weekend, and he met up with me at 9:30 in the morning so that we could go to the IWS dojo where Produit was happening, where the Produit show was, so that we could get there early, set up, and get some interviews. And when we got to the venue by 11, he's like, "Hey, are you excited? 12 hours from now, you're going to be watching the main event of the pay-per-view." And I was like, I hate you right now, because we're both like yawning and need caffeine. And it was just like, I hate that you just brought this to my attention, much like Jeremy right now being brought the other his attention. So anyway, so we'll go back to that. Fast forward to a press conference. So after the show, they eventually bring us up to this second area concourse. They didn't bring us through backstage. There was none of that. And to the point where when they brought us through security, which is an off-site entrance in the Bell Center, they do the security, you get your badge and your ticket, and then they're like, okay, now you got to go outside all the way around into the main entrances through the venue with all the other people. And I'm like, so I got to do security twice. I had to do it with media, and then I had to do it again when I came in, where the people that see me the second time, who are usually getting the ticket takers, were just like, excuse me, sir, you can't have your bag with a camera and then a separate bag with a tripod. And I badge, and they're like, oh, okay. And then another woman comes up to me from the Bell Center. Again, they're doing their job. I can't be upset about it. And she's just like, excuse me, sir, are you working tonight? And I show her the badge. She's like, oh, okay, no problem, go. And I'm like, this could have been avoided if you just brought us through the backstage into the venue. But they brought us to the space for the presser, and I was uncertain but somewhat certain about who was going to be on the post show. I knew Speedball for sure. I figured Willow, and I was between the Dogs just to have some kind of levity and comedy because they won, and the other one.
Not after that match. They were like,
yeah, they won that match.
They won that match.
Hell?
But anyway, but then I was like, well, Maya World makes the most sense because she just won the TBS title and she's been on a tear, blah blah blah. So I didn't expect.
They probably had them scheduled for the presser, and Tony went to one of his assistants, pulled them aside, said, "I don't want to see them. I don't want to tell them to stay in their goddamn room. I don't want to see them."
Are you kidding me? He loved that show. He loved everything about it. Nothing went wrong, and everything.
He can't rank his top 5 moments.
Oh, look at that! I'll tell you that story in a second. The only person that was like more of a surprise was Kyle Fletcher, and I think that was also just to do the angle with Speedball, which I didn't hate it. I know people were just like, "Oh, we're doing an angle at a."
You were about to punch Kyle Fletcher.
Okay, let's start with Jeremy. I'm texting with Jeremy, and Jeremy's like, "I'm tired," and whatever, and I was like, "You want to help me with questions?" And I was like, "Maya's first," and I'm like, I have nothing for Maya World because like he's doing great, and I also don't want to be the person who's like, "Go you! How does it feel to be TV?" I will not do that question. People are going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So Jeremy texts me, ask if she's watched the match, and I was like, "LOL, are you serious?" And I just immediately replied like, "I'm gonna do it," and I did it, and it wasn't a shot at Dave. People were like, "Oh, he's taking a shot at Dave Meltzer." I was like, listen, it's a bit of a shot at Dave. I get it, but also
as the person who fed you the question, I can confirm it was a shot at Dave
but at the
for
same
not
time,
reviewing it.
Yeah. But at the same time, I was like, just like Matt Hardy, you did this to yourself. So I'm just gonna let this happen.
I almost my full question was going to be, have you rewatched the match? And do you think it sounded different live and on tape?
Then
I was
it
like,
did on TV.
let me cut that part. Let me cut that part out. And then I almost said, have you rewatched the match? Do you think it was 5 stars?
It was a warning shot at Dave. Now, or pew pew.
That was the best part of Raw last night, by the way, was Solo. Pew pew, pow, 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 pew.
You gotta
Gonna eat to death and put people to sleep.
You gotta clip that.
Dude, put all the titles on Solo. That dude rules.
So I asked the question, and then, you know, people who got it. Dave's face, not Dave, sorry, Tony's face when I asked it was hilarious because he was like, I don't know how to react to this, and Renee just kind of had a sly smile, and Maya obviously chuckled and answered.
Maya handled it well. Yeah, when she was like, somebody has to, I was like, and I got a big pop too. So
yeah, I thought she handled it perfectly, and she's not someone who does a lot of these anyway, like the pressers specifically. She does PR, she does media, and does interviews. So like that's fine. But this was her first in front of the media answering questions like this experience. So I was like, that's why I opened it with like very easy question, very simple. Have you watched the match? And yeah, it was great. It worked out really well, and it made the room a lot less tense because it felt like there were a lot of either first timers or just people who haven't done a lot of these. And I remember being in that room and feeling awkward about it. But again, you get the reps, you do it, and it gets okay. So yeah, after that, it was pretty smooth sailing. And Jeremy fed me that first question. And after that, it was kind of like, I think I got the rest of this. I didn't ask Kyle anything because I just didn't have anything for Kyle Fletcher.
Should have asked him, you trying to fight? What do you have against Canadians? You trying to fight?
So Speedball comes out, and you know, everybody loves Speedball. And for those who know, like, Speedball and I have we have a bit of a relationship from like his DNA days, and like we kept up with each other, and there's like I have an immense amount of respect for him. I think he's doing incredible work with AEW, no questions asked. So he comes out and he sits down, and if you watch the recording of the press conference, he's talking like just off camera. He's looking at me for the first like 5 minutes straight, no blinking, and I'm just like, this is both great and uncomfortable for me. Like,
he recognized you.
Yeah, like he knows who I am, and I know who he is. Like he's not trying to point me. It's just maybe I'm a comfort face to him. I don't know. And people do that in certain scenarios where like you're in a group, you look at the person that you're comfortable. I don't know. I'm not gonna pass assertions about what he was doing, but he's staring at me, and I was just like, this is both wholesome, and I feel so good for him, but also I'm just like, this is weird because he's just staring a hole in me. And then I was waiting to ask a question. I wanted other people to get a shot because I had just asked Maya, and I was like, there are a lot of people here that probably want to ask questions. He's local to Quebec, so maybe there are Quebec media that want to get something. And slowly those questions dissipated, but then Kyle Fletcher comes out and they start the angle, and I'm just like, I don't know if I'm going to get anything here. And then at one point, Renee is just like, I don't think anyone else has a question. I was just like, I have a question. And I got Tony and Renee being like, Joel, are you sure? And I'm like, we have a thing. Nobody gives me a microphone. They just have me tell the question to Speedball. And the question was effectively, because he couldn't hear it, the question was effectively like, you saw what the Montreal Indies are like now, and like just compare it with the people that you work with now and the experience you have from like last 20 years of wrestling, because he really has been in the business for 20 years. And I just wanted him to talk about that, because there were a bunch of people that he trained, as he said, that were on the show. All 4 women who flanked Andrade are people that have either been in interviews with us or know who we are. And I thought that was really cool. Like, Kat Creed has been on this show before. Drea Mitchell and I did an interview at C4 Wrestling back in February. Tara Zepp and I have a mutual friend who works in the music industry. Like, and we hung out a bit at WrestleMania week 2 years ago in Vegas. Who was the 4th? Oh, Kristara. Kristara and I were supposed to do an interview in Montreal, but things kind of got messed up with timing, so we're going to do it at C4. But we see each other at like all of these shows. And then Audrey Moreau, who was the woman who kissed Andrade at the end of the night. It's another person. These are all people that Speedball had worked with. So I just wanted to get him talking about that. And it meant a lot to me to get that from him. And I'm glad that we had that little stupid interaction of just like, are you sure? And it's like, yeah, I'll blow up the angle for a minute. And then they brought it around. It was good. Then Kyle was up. I didn't have anything for Kyle. I asked Jeremy, I was like, was there anything that came from the Mark Davis interview so I can bring up the fact that we interviewed Mark Davis, the two of you did going into the show. But no, we just kind of left it. And the guy from Watch Mojo was sitting behind me, and he asked about Tom Holland.
That was so awkward. It was the Taylor Swift question to EO all over.
But so here's the difference though. Watch Mojo is an entertainment channel. Yeah. He was very much repping his brand and what his brand does. The person who asked EO the Taylor Swift question mostly does wrestling content. He doesn't do entertainment content. But that was very like non sequitur, like what are you doing? That was very obviously what he was trying to do with Taylor and EO in that question. He wanted clicks. This guy was following up from an interview question, and he wanted to bring it to Tony's attention too, and like try and get an angle or something out of it. But instead, Tony was like, no, we want wrestlers. And I was like, well done, you handled that.
I was like, that was the best answer you could have possibly given in this state of pro wrestling right now.
Yeah, and then one night later, Ryan Garcia is involved in a segment.
So
freaking song and dance segment.
Yeah.
Oh, just amazing. So the Watch Mojo guy, again, very nice guy. I'm not saying anything that's going to be like mean or salacious. Before the thing started, we were all just kind of sitting there waiting as we traditionally do for this to start. And I'm sitting next to Josh, who's the intern for Ariel Helwani in the Uncrowned show. And he was a really nice dude. We chatted for a bit, and he's a nice guy. Check him out. And obviously Ariel is Ariel. And then behind me was the guy from Watch Mojo, and like said, "Hey, how you doing?" And then we all just kind of looked at each other and we're like, "So what are you gonna talk? What are you gonna ask TK?" And he's like, the guy from Watch Mojo was like, "Oh, I was gonna ask him because we rank things at Watch Mojo. What his top 3 moments from AEW Redemption is?" And I turned to him and I said, "That's a really great way to have Tony Khan recap the entire 19." Yeah. And he looked at me and he's like, "That's a good point." And then later on, when he actually did ask the question, Tony's like, "Well, I can't give you 3 because if I do, I'm going to recap the entire night." And I turned around and I was just like, "You see?" And the guy was like, "You're right." But yeah, that was a funny moment. But where were we? Fletcher comes out. And he leaves. Who was next? Willow. The only question I had for Willow was the one I'm surprised nobody asked. And when she brought up injury, I was like, oh, well, now we're absolutely going to ask about that. And I'm glad that she gave the clarity. And I'm glad that because when she went into Double or Nothing and how she wasn't, her family came and she brought all these people and blah, blah, blah. And she really wanted to work and then she couldn't work. I was like, we have to talk about what this was because we never knew officially what the injury was. So for her to then, again, in this place of transparency, she told us the story of what happened. And I was like, that's all I needed. I needed you to tell me what the injury was, and you thought it was going to be worse than it was. Thankfully, you were able to work through it, and here we are. So, again, for all the creative shit that came from it, and we've all talked about it, relinquishing the title, and then they did the whole survival of the fittest and blah, 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 but now she's a champion. It did feel convoluted, it did feel weird, but it understandably came from we didn't know how bad this injury was. So the pivot was what it was. So I'm glad I got to ask that one. And then everyone else asked, I thought Kate from Post Wrestling asking about the mental health comments was a good idea. And I'm glad that she got into that. And the question about when she gets into, I don't want to violate someone else's HIPAA. She was saying it in a way where everyone thought she was talking about her injury when she said violating HIPAA. She was trying to say she didn't want to give someone else's injury because then she explained herself that it was someone else had a similar AC sprain, but she, that person, she didn't want to give that person away. So that's where the confusion was. So yeah, it was, that was Willow and she was solid. And then it was Tony time, right? And yeah, I had a very simple question for Tony. Wasn't out of left field. It wasn't anything that wasn't going to be expected. And it was the only one I had and got it.
You were a coward for not pitching him my entire 24-hour programming rundown because I feel like that would have gone a long way in getting the network off the ground.
Maybe. It also probably would have ended with Tony then counter-offering with his own 24-hour stream idea.
Great. That sounds great.
Then we would have been there all night. And it was
good.
When we got to the
just talking about Time Cop for 24 hours.
He did bring up Time Cop during the presser.
I bet he did.
He did. He mentioned Time Cop.
It had to be a rib on me, whoever asked the Kenny Omega question. And he's like, I went to the meeting in California where I met the TNT executives. Like, Tony, no. God, I used to write Dynamite in my notebook. I literally brought this up to him on the show. I was like, I heard this story 1,000,000 times, Tony. And he gets asked about Kenny Omega, and he brings this up. I was like, oh.
This was at the point where everyone else had asked questions that wanted to ask questions, and now he was doing the anyone else? I know there are people who want it. I was just like, Tony, you can end it here. You left on a high note.
Bless him.
Take it home.
Bless him. I told him this. I was like, I appreciate that he wants everybody to ask a question. He wants to answer all the questions. But I'm also like, just stop answering questions.
Also, there is that. Yeah.
No, but the press conference ended at 1:30. I can deal with they still take too long to start. I'm pretty sure this one started 39 minutes instead of 40 minutes.
Someone told me it was like 39:59.
Yeah. And it's like, it still takes too long to start. But if it is at 1:30 because the pay-per-view's over by midnight, like I'm cool with that. 1:30 is fine. It's the 3 o'clock ones that annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they got done by 1:30. Shout out to the Poison Rana boys. Got to see them again, which was nice. And they're Toronto as well, so they're going to All In. So if you happen to see them there, they'll be around. And it was a good press conference. It had been a very long day at that point. I got home. I got back to my hotel by like 2:30. Fell asleep by 3, and then I was up by 7 to pack my bags and catch my flight for 10. That's the way it was. Brian saying TK seemed genuinely excited to see you there. I don't know about that. He certainly knew who I was. I also am the person who will repeat my name and intro every time I have a question, because I do not like it when other members of the media do it one time and then they never do it again. I understand it's because you're not thinking of the person you're asking the question to, because the other two people are up there the whole time. So it's like they already know who I am, but like the new person doesn't. So for me, it's always like we're gonna redo this. But yeah. The TK stuff was just hilarious because I didn't expect. I know how he feels about Jeremy. Obviously, he very much enjoys Jeremy.
Maybe
he does.
Yeah, he loves Jeremy.
Exactly, and like I know he respects the hell out of SP3 and the work that you do. And I was just like, I'm a clown. I am a fucking clown. But I've also asked you some tough questions, so it's like, how do you really feel about me, Tony? But clearly there was no problem there. So maybe I'm just reading into my own, brain.
No, I think Tony, he obviously knew you. You were on stream with him like a week ago. So he probably recognized your face and everything. You've been at multiple press conferences. I don't think this is your first one or anything. Yeah. Tony has a great memory when it comes to this stuff, for better or for worse. Like, he has a memory on this stuff. So I think he was, genuinely excited, or it's like, oh, cool. Like Joel is here. It's in Canada. That makes sense that Joel is here. So
it was very funny when
wouldn't read too much into it other than, oh, cool. Tony knows I'm here and seems to appreciate that.
The Josh from Uncrowned asked a good question, saying, it's been 48 pay-per-views, and what would you take from like 2019 Double or Nothing till now? And I get that he ended up doing the Jay and Brody Lee, like I miss them, and he gives that one a lot, but it works with the media because if they don't remember the story, then they feel for him. But I like the way that Josh had worded the question, because it was trying to get a different take on it, not the what's your regret. It was very much like, what have you learned having put on so many pay-per-views? The fact that he always defaults to Jay and to Brody Lee, it's like, it's understandable, but I'm hoping he continues to kind of reflect and find answers to that. A little different. Henry asking, did Joel get the glasses? So no. I will tell you the story of the glasses when I pull my camera down, not for any reason relating to the anyway. So I am in contact with AWPR and in contact with, they're going to put me in contact with the Together team, and we're going to try and work out something for a donation to auction off at C4's Fighting Back. Obviously there's no guarantees. There never is. It's wrestling, but I did reach out to someone from the PR team. They got back to me this morning saying, hey, we've sent this along to so-and-so, and we'll see. If something happens, great. If not, at least I tried. The glasses weren't there because honestly, Tony no longer spends like the end of the presser like taking photos and shaking hands. And Sam, the security guy, like they're all just like A, ready to go, and B, they don't want him to be as accessible as he already is and do that. Tony would do it. He would. But the reality is he's got a team around him that's just like, let's get you moving on your way. So Adam Hopkins from the head of PR was also walking around and doing microphone work as well. So for me to be able to talk to Tony is not really a thing, because if I do it, then everyone else is going to want to do it, and rightfully so, because I'm not any more special than someone else in the room. So the glasses thing is funny, and if it happens, hilarious. I'd love if they send me a package and there's something to donate. There's a pair of glasses, be like, for Jeremy. That would be very funny, but I'm not expecting anything. I'm not even expecting anything to come through for Fighting Back, and if it does, I would be over the moon and very appreciative. But wheels are at least in motion, and everyone was on board with the idea. So I'm happy to say that the conversations are there.
I want my glasses. I don't care about the charity glasses that are going to get auctioned.
Well, that's
way to just bury it. Jeez.
I'm the charity that needs help with these glasses.
As one does. So that was the press conference. You guys talked a lot about the pay-per-view. I can tell you in person, a lot of what you heard, or a lot of what both during the show and about the show, like it's pretty on point. When the crowds were quiet, they were quite quiet. When they were loud, they were very loud. Kenny doing the shush spot when he slapped Kevin, I was so shocked that Kenny got the entire arena to shut up. Yeah. I was like, that. Someone said that's aura, and I was like, you know what? Yes, it is.
Yeah. That's the best wrestler on the show. I've said this multiple times now. He was the best wrestler on that show. He had that crowd that was tired for much of the matches on the card. He had them fully invested in the main event.
Yeah, they were also just like, all right, good. We don't have to make any noise right now. Oh, good. We can maybe take a nap.
But they made noise once he hit the V trigger.
I felt bad for Kevin Knight, because he came out and it felt like crickets. And then again, crowd
new music too.
New music.
Yeah.
And it just felt like
not everybody really loved too.
Yeah.
You can't do new music to a guy who no knock on Kevin Knight. Like, this is his first like main event big time match here. And he's already at a disadvantage because they're in Kenny's country, and people are already like, oh, we thought this was going to be MJF. I mean, how many people in that audience bought a ticket thinking this was going to be Kenny and MJF? I think Graves was one of them. I know a few people in our chat have said, like, oh, yeah, we bought our tickets when it first went on sale, and we all thought it was going to be Kenny and MJF, and then all of a sudden it's Kevin Knight. Again, no knock on Kevin Knight, but you can't do new music for this guy when he's already working from behind, given the situation.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the one you look up to moniker. It's just not my favorite. I think it's long. It's like calling In the Weeds, the show that covers every single wrestling event that's not WWE.
Very wordy.
Very wordy, but obviously the matches were great. What was funny was I was sitting with the Love Wrestling crew. So I was with JPJ Lawrence and Zach. Shout out to them. A lot of fun just sitting and enjoying the wrestling show. When Jericho came out, the Painmaker stuff, we're sitting right by audio, and there's a decibel meter reader that's right by where we're sitting. First of all, turn down Justin Roberts' microphone. It is so incredible. He breaks into the 100 decibels when he does his ring announcing. Just turn down the mic just a tinge, and you don't blow your ears out. That part was just ridiculous. When they started playing Painkiller by Judas Priest, it was so bloody loud that I couldn't tell if the audience was reacting or if it was just we were listening to Judas Priest in an arena. That's how it felt. The match ended up being what it was. I didn't care, for the finish. I said it on Twitter. I was like, the finish is they're going to use the elbow pad, and so the knee pad as an elbow pad, and that's going to be the finish. He'll have the Judas effect with it, and he'll get the 3. When he didn't, I was like, oh, the fucking drill. And then they used the drill, and again, they've been teasing it for months, so I get why they did it, but a lot of people are like, the drill is so silly. Using a drill in a wrestling match is ridiculous. But otherwise, they went, well, here we are.
That match ruled. I don't know what the hell Joel's talking about.
Wrong. The match was fun. It was just using the drill.
Best match on the show.
You get it? It was.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's fine. There you go. People pop for the entrance. People were excited for Jericho. Again, you're in Canada, and like hardcore AEW fans are probably just like, all right, sure, whatever. But there are a lot of fans who are not there as a hardcore AEW fan. Some of them are like, this is my first pay-per-view in like 15 years or something. And they just wanted to cheer and have fun, which is great. Do that, please. But my section wasn't all media. It was a lot of fans there. I don't know what my section makeup was. It was very strange. But people were enjoying it, and it was enjoyable. So can't complain about it. They ended with Shoot Murder. It was awesome.
Was awesome.
It was fun. It was not a bad match whatsoever. The one thing that took me out, and I don't know if you guys talked about it, was bringing out Yuppie at the beginning, like third of the match, the Montreal mascot, the doll, and doing a whole spot with the doll. It was kind of like
got the biggest reaction of anything on the show.
It did, but that's the problem. It's like you had a perfectly good doll. I don't know. You had a perfectly good blood feud going, and you brought out a doll to do wrestling moves on. It felt a little.
It didn't take away from the blood feud.
And in the moment, I was like, "Why are we doing this? Why is he giving a backbreaker to the fucking doll?"
How dare you?
Because it's gonna get a big reaction, and he knew, and he was wise enough. He brought out the hockey stick. I got a big pop, and he was wise enough to have the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, I get it.
That he can get his seat back.
And JPJ was losing his shit in the stands because he's from Boston, and he was like, "Yeah, kill him." That was very funny, but I don't know. The match was good.
I agree, Henry. He does hate fun.
I do hate fun, especially when I've been up at this point for 15 hours working. So there was that.
How dare you?
It is what it is, right? Izzy Dame. I am a Sens fan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rocking a Jericho shirt today. That's how great his match was on Sunday.
I hope you're excited for Corazon de Leon versus Swerve at All In.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to come out to White Zombie.
I'm looking forward to Chris Jericho and Swerve, first time ever.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he's going to bring back Corazon de Leon for Grand Slam Mexico and do another match against Ciampa.
Hell yeah.
It'll be fun for everyone. Yeah.
Hair versus beard.
Hair versus beard.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think
Ciampa's gone.
Ciampa beardless again.
He's gone bald. Before.
Yeah, he's gone beardless.
And then it scared people. Those ears.
Yeah, it did scare me.
Those ears were suddenly very prevalent. So maybe we should keep the beard.
Look at Xena Hour saying, Joel, don't let these two Jericho sickle fans bully you into thinking that 2026 Jericho is good. He's a loser. He doesn't know any type of ball.
He is good.
He doesn't know any type of ball. He's still in his 2024, 2025 thinking of Chris Jericho, and he can't get out of it. It doesn't matter how good a match is. He's so hung up on his opinion from a year ago or 2 years ago that he can't even respond to what I'm saying here because now he's on timeout. Damn shame. It's crazy how that happened. It's like I called it. I know.
Again, nothing. I'm not going to go through match by match in the show, but the Speedball was incredibly over as expected. The pop was ridiculous. The crowd was so behind him, and he was also, the first hometown guy to come out for what was the first match on the pay-per-view that wasn't part of the buy-in. So that was great. And then the ladder match obviously sets the tone. So it was a great match for that sake. And the Rougeaus, it happened exactly the way I wanted it to. I was so happy. People on this show heard me for weeks talk about it. When they announced it, I was like, this is the dumbest thing you could possibly do. Listen, I understand that Tony wants to, show respect to the history of wrestling and blah, 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 blah. The Rougeaus, in hindsight, are the shittiest. Well, more Jacques, not the other one.
Ray.
Was it Ray who got booed?
Yeah. No, it was Ray was there. Jacques got booed.
Jacques the piece of shit.
Jacques got booed.
Yeah, sorry. They're all the same. Wrestlers. They're all the same. But either way, I was so happy. Can you give me the lore on why Quebec hates Jacques? Because Jacques is a mark for himself. He thinks that I beat Hogan, so I'm the best. I'm the hero. I'm the guy. But meanwhile, he's kept down talent for years and years in Quebec. He has mistreated them. He went to a show in Ottawa, not too long ago, where they had him in a battle royal that he won, beating a bunch of younger talent, and they gave him a fucking belt out of it. So he's an egomaniac, and he said some pretty aberrant shit in the last few years as well. He's not a good person. More and more people are seeing that, and more people are speaking about it. And the fact that, I had mentioned it going into this show, I was like, I really hope people boo him. And then they did. And I got to tell you, I was walking into the venue when that was happening because our media call time went till 6:30. We left Produit at 4:35, we went back to the hotel so that I could put some stuff away, like drop some stuff and repack my bag. And then we all went down. We wanted to eat, and we ran out of time, blah, blah, blah. When we got in, I'm listening to them booing Jacques Rougeau, and I was so happy. I was like over the moon. People who came in with me, if Lawrence, were you with us at that point? No, he already went inside. The guys who were with me they were just like watching me revel in this. And then later on, more people tweeted about how he's a piece of shit. He tried to be a heel, and everyone was like, "No, we're not booing that. We're booing you,
exactly,
garbage human being." And they tried to save it with Rocky and whatever. So I felt bad for Matt Menard, who was put in that position as well. So shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, him being honored and then being like, "Y'all can kiss my ass," like, well, I don't feel like this is how you guys should be. It's not AEW's fault, but it's like I don't feel this is how you should do your big honoring segment here by telling the crowd to kiss their ass when you're not the heel. I don't think. And then you do the
just weird.
Obviously you do the babyface segment with Rocky, so it's like, yeah, you're definitely not trying to be the heel. Yeah, it was a little awkward.
This is exactly right. All I know about him is that Kevin Owens hates the guy, and Kevin Owens is universally liked.
Yeah,
he also has a much larger platform in 2026 than Jacques Rougeau. So yes, the stories are going to come out, and he is not a good person.
He does a great impression of Jacques Rougeau.
It was just not a. It was not a good time. It was not a good time for him. It was a great time for me. I can tell you that. So yeah, that was everything for the pay-per-view that I can get into. I don't know if you guys want to ask me anything about being in the room. Good, can't blame. Went to Produit before that. That show was a lot of fun at the IWS Dojo. Walked out with an interview with Nixie XS. Shout out to her. We had a really fun chat. It'll go up on my channel.
Did she wrestle?
She did, actually. She had a really good match with Fuwa-chan.
Oh, okay.
You should actually, I do recommend it.
Fuwa-chan is awesome.
And they had a really good match. They did a murder I watched 2 murders, a potential third on this weekend. I don't know what it is in Quebec. People can just get away with murder, but I saw it almost 3 times. And she was one of them. Nixie beat up Fuwa-chan and then killed her in the backstage. I was actually really scared because in the interview, I'll talk about it, or I did talk about it. My camera was set up in the back, which is like a gym area. And I was afraid that they were going to go and like knock it over and wreck it. And she's like, no, I saw it there and I wasn't going to do that. And I was like, okay, I'm glad. But yeah, she had a good match. She really did. She's good. So yeah, Janela was on the show. Who else was on the show? Mance Warner was on the show. You guys, if you watched it, it was a really fun show. The main event was just bonkers. It was Gresham and Green Phantom taking on, what was it, Mad Dog Connolly and Beastman, right? Did I get that? That was a tag match. Beastman's massive. At one point in the finish, they had him get thrown off the top rope onto Mad Dog Connolly, who's on chairs, and it looked like Beastman hit Connolly landed on his face, on his head. And Connolly was okay, but it was something. So yeah, but Produit was fun. It was just a long show in that every match had to go 20 minutes for the sake of 20 minutes. I hope that they kind of change it up and do some stuff that was different. Oni King and Darren Bankston was fantastic. They talked so much shit to each other that it made it that much more interesting and that much more fun. And then these 2 guys knew how to go. It was so much fun. So yeah, if you get a chance to go watch Produit, I thought it was good. It wasn't perfect. I thought the other Produce events have been better. This one felt like we're doing it because it's the afternoon of an AEW show, and like we see the value in adding that to the weekend. So that was good. But shout out to Orange Crush, and shout out to everyone who was on that card and came out, because it was still a really fun show, but just a little different from the other Produce shows. Mystery on Saturday night was absolutely fantastic. I mean, I work for them allegedly, so clearly I have to say nice things, right? But that was such a fun show, and incredibly unexpected as well, in that tons of AEW talent, tons of surprises, which is Mystery Way, of course. I was uncomfortably all over that show by accident, because when we arrived, doors had already opened, and JPJ and I met up. I had landed, he came to my hotel. We went down, we wanted to get dinner first. We went the wrong way, found a restaurant, and then we had to walk all the way back to the venue. By the time we got there, the show was starting in like 5 minutes. So everyone was already there, and it was packed, which was wonderful to see. And if you've never been, or you've never seen Bay Matière, it's an old pool that is now like a DIY punk style venue. So you've got all the way around. The pool is like a place where people can sit. There's a bar. There's all different just kind of chill out spots. And then in the pool, there's the wrestling ring, and then there's standing room only for the show. There were no chairs in the pool, which was kind of nuts. I went downstairs. I met up with Zach from Love Wrestling, who was there, and he was standing just kind of near the stairs. I didn't realize that the entrance was right next to where I was standing until the show started. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to be watching the entrance all night. So then cameras were around. I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to be on the show all night. But it was so much fun. Every match was different. Every match hit. Every match was just something ridiculous. I thought the TDT, the street fight that they did with Layla Wild, Dre Mitchell, and Kristara was fantastic. And every time they kept going down to the entrance to get more doors, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, are you serious? And they just kept bringing more doors out, and they had such a blast of a match. I thought the women were going to win because typically when you do a street fight like that, the women go over. But no, TDT was in control, and they got the spots for the girls.
Triple H ass booking.
Oh, well, it was still a fantastic match. Still so much fun. And yeah, like Fresh Air versus the Death Riders was a lot of fun. We didn't expect to see Yuta and Garcia, obviously. They did their entrance from the other side of the building, so that was cool. And Fresh Air are so impossibly over. They're such great dudes and such great wrestlers. You see them dial it in, and they're great. They did a match with Uno and Stu Grayson as well at Produit, and that was another really great match. So shout out to Fresh Air and Death Riders. They had such a good match. Aubrey Edwards was the referee. Again, a fun match. To me, one of the funniest matches on the show was Janela and Cecil Nix. They did a falls count. No, not falls. Sorry. I wrote it in my notes.
It was a falls count anyone.
Falls
count anyone. Yeah.
So, and it was an 12-minute Iron Man match.
Yeah.
So if either of them pinned each other, it was a point. If they pinned anyone else, it was a point.
Like
but if
three,
in them, they lost a point.
Yeah.
Cecil had -3 points. Joey had 3. I can't explain this match to anybody. You have to watch it. Again, when Cecil's in the ring, you expect a ridiculous match, and they did it. And I thought it was hilarious. And if I had a moment to talk to Joey, because we were going to do something, but we ran out of time. It was a ridiculous weekend. Joey was like, yes, let's do something. And then timing just messed us up. One of my questions was like, was this the weirdest match you've ever done? Or like the most convoluted match you've ever done?
This wasn't even like top 5 for Joey. Bro.
Yeah.
Convoluted. Yeah.
I would definitely put it up there because yes, he's been in a lot of like weird matches with weapons and blah, blah, blah. But I think this is the first one where he's got to be like, so who's pinning who? What are we doing? Who's involved in this? But it was so much fun. They did a really good job with it. And yeah, the show was great. Johnny Wrestling won the mystery title. Johnny Mystery, I should say. Now he's
I was about to say Johnny Wrestling. I thought he was a plank.
Yeah, that's right. He's a different guy. So Johnny Mystery is now the Mystery Wrestling Champion. And it was another really good match with London Lightning. Hope London's okay. I know they joked about a knee injury, but also London won the title at the beginning of the year or just before the beginning. So I just hope he's good. But Johnny Mystery was a good shock, and I think people were really into it. So yeah, fun night. It was a fantastic show, and got to see a lot of good faces and see a lot of happy faces. And Mystery continues to be one of the best indies that are out there for your buck, and you can watch it for free. And then you can do the Patreon route if you want to watch it afterwards.
Anything else from the weekend, Joel?
There's a time for concerts. No, there's nothing else. I wished I got to see Weird Al. He was on while Mystery was on, but
Coward.
I didn't get to go. I was too busy.
Cowardly.
I know. He started at 9. Mystery started at 8. Mystery had a good show.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Crazy.
I know.
Should have just gone. Should have just skipped all of the wrestling.
Trust me, if I could have, I would have. Were you at the PWR show? No, I was not at the PWR show. But I will be at C4 Wrestling in 2 weeks. At Fighting Back.
There you have it.
There you go. Yeah, Lawrence saw Weird Al. He enjoyed it. He had a good time. I'm upset about that. That he had a good time, not that he went. I don't want Lawrence to have good things.
Hey, see, you should have just gone with Lawrence to see Weird Al.
No,
that's not nice. Lawrence is good people.
Yeah, he's fine.
No,
he's good people.
No, blocked him over sports. He sucks.
Damn. You guys are mean to these people. I'm always so nice to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, you like everybody but Zeno Hour.
No, yeah, exactly. At least I'm an equal opportunist.
That's fair. Equal opportunity here. The haters. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. Who's ready for Triple H on Busted Open tomorrow, as expected.
Sup, legend.
Sup, legend. What's it like being you?
He's gonna get the Tony Khan spot. I mean, that is the Tony Khan spot. 11:30 on Wednesday. That's the old TK spot.
Yep.
We gotta change that up. We gotta get TK on the show now weekly.
Hey, 1 and 2.
We do. If we would invite him every Wednesday at 11:30. Like, how would you like to have a reserve spot to promote Dynamite every single week on Fightful?
15 minutes at a time.
Y'all tweet Tony Khan and ask him this. I always feel bad like messaging him of like, hey, you want to do the show? Hey, you want to do the show? Like,
you go if Busted Open sends a tweet out promoting the Triple H thing, quote.
They already did.
Did they? So I don't subscribe to the Busted Open Twitter. Anyway,
okay.
If you see it there, quote tweet it and say, hey, Tony Khan, you should join Busted Open every week. Or you should join In the Weeds every week on Wednesdays to preview Dynamite.
All right, fine.
You should join True Hill Heat every Thursday for AE Ramble.
I feel like that one's a little bit further off in the distance. We got plenty of love for Court Bauer. Court Bauer, he only shows up in random places for us. Court Bauer has become a bit on the show. It's great.
Hello, Tony Khan. How do I word this?
Have you considered joining In the Weeds every Wednesday to...
I don't know. Say, hey, Tony Khan, I don't know if you know this, but In the Weeds is the only daily wrestling morning show that covers more than WWE. But because of that, we would love to invite you every Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time to come on the show to talk about AEW Dynamite. You know, you had a great Redemption show. There was a lot.
This is way too many words. I know Tony loves words. This is way too many words.
This is a Tony answer.
I was just gonna write hello Tony Khan, fight back. That was gonna be my whole.
All right, fight back. Come on In the Weeds.
All right, hold on. Hello Tony Khan. I just really want to say fight back.
Mikey V's got it. Hello, Tony Khan. In the Weeds would like to extend a spot on our show every Wednesday to talk Dynamite.
Nah, I think the Lake Raps got the better one. Tony Khan and AEW should organize and galvanize the generation of content creators to bolster the independent journalists / media to counter WWE ratings.
Oh, now.
So see you tomorrow at 11.
Now I'm thinking. I'm not gonna tweet this, but now I'm like, hello, Tony Khan. Instead of supporting the Harvey Weinstein of daily morning wrestling shows, please join us on the Pepsi of daily morning wrestling shows.
That right there, that's it. That's the one. That's the one.
I feel like that's a bad idea.
Yeah, that one probably wouldn't go over so well.
He's a Christian now.
I know.
The man's out here at press conferences saying, God bless you all, and thank you.
Yeah, that's very funny.
I was just like, that's very funny. We are one step closer to me asking Tony Khan for his favorite Bible verse. I'm there.
Who's your favorite character in the Bible? That's what I'm going to ask him next time.
He'll recount the entire fucking Bible.
Yeah, he'll give you the entire... He will go book by book
on was like Genesis chapter 17, verse 42 says...
So I'm going to say, Tony, we're going to talk Old Testament real quick. Tell me the 10 plagues. Okay, and now tell me from the Passover Seder, we talked about there being maybe 120 plagues. Can we talk about the 120 potential plagues? Let's sit here. Let's talk about it.
I'm just writing, hello, Tony Khan. You're always welcome on In the Weeds. I want to use fight back, but...
No.
I am going to use the only daily morning wrestling show that covers more than WWE. Wait, hold on. No, the only day I'm gonna switch it up. I'm not even gonna mention WWE. The only daily wrestling morning show that covers the challenger brands. He loves that word. The challenger brands. Okay.
The chat is now broken into Bible talk. My bad. If the Bible were wrestling, who would you book as champion?
Moses.
God's got to
absolutely.
put somebody over.
Moses is in here, man.
I'm gonna start a damn podcast on my only channel, and we're just gonna talk about. It's gonna be all biblical wrestling bullshit, and Tony's gonna be the first guest.
I mean, we broke freaking the Collision Pro show into me booking teen dramas with AEW storylines.
That's why all those comments were coming out.
Because I said that freaking Nick Wayne and Jack Perry were Nathan and Lucas Scott from One Tree Hill. So we then had everybody asking us, like, who's this character? What show they from?
It's David versus Goliath. Bible Mania 3.
I'm out on the Bible talk. I mean,
it's okay. Tony will point it out for us. Oh, I see you've tweeted the thing.
Yeah, I tweeted it. Please retweet it or don't. I don't care.
Please interact with it. What happens next?
We're gonna be called shills because we're trying to get Tony Khan back on the show.
You guys are just shameless shills now.
Yes, and
Whatever.
have
You
you seen
guys
the
should be
finisher?
ashamed of yourself.
Split the Red Sea could work as a finisher name. Factual.
Split the
That's
Red
actually
Sea.
not bad.
That sounds like a dope ass finisher.
Yeah,
That's why I
actually is
said
pretty
Moses.
good.
Moses is the world champion.
Moses.
Moses is the world champion.
Imagine.
And we thinking about the long build to Jesus finally becoming champion. We want to do it. We want to do it in the Wembley Stadium of the Bible, which is Jerusalem.
Imagine Jesus walking in and being told, like, Jesus, we're putting over John, and this one, Jesus, like, that doesn't work for me, brother.
It doesn't
No.
work for me, brother.
I ain't putting this dude over.
If you guys want any wine tonight from that water, you guys, you better think otherwise.
Jesus, you'll get your win back in 3 days, okay? You just gotta put him over here.
You just gotta put over Pontius Pilate. I'm telling you, it's gonna be okay.
3-day wrestling.
We got an angle. We're trying to work here. You'll return in 3 days. I promise.
It's a 3-day wrestling show. Jesus loses on the first day and comes back on the third. There's no other way to do this. Other than that. Oh my gosh, what an amazing show.
Tony's never gonna join now.
Well, we're not being blasphemous.
Come on. That's obvious. King Davion said, "What would the pay-per-view Forbidden Door be called in the Bible? Forbidden Fruit, of course.
Hell yeah. Who would be
That's easy.
Tekla would be the snake.
Ooh.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Or Randy Orton.
Well, he doesn't work for them anymore.
Yeah, we can't book Randy Orton.
Nah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. My bad.
Can't talk about him either. Persona non grata.
Oh,
But
my
he's
bad.
not on TV, so you know. Remember the time?
Maybe
he,
a free agent now.
Well, I doubt that very much. Remember the time he tried to use the AEW as leverage to get in?
Yes. Smart man. I'll give him
That
that.
shit was funny.
That shit was gangster.
Have you seen the clip of Saddam singing "You Do with the Cutter"? Yes, every other day. Yeah, can't use Judgment Day as a pay-per-view name. That's okay. We got Redemption.
Yeah, we do have Redemption. Yeah.
That was the most biblical wrestling show name we ever had. All white and blue, and I was just like, we gotta step Tony off the ledge here. Step back.
Let's test Jeremy's lack of Bible knowledge. How many books are in the Bible? I have no idea. No idea.
77. Resurrection. That's why he loves Christian Cage so much. 'Cause
That's my Bible knowledge, is watching the South Park episodes where they have. I watched Kyle stab Jesus in the throat yesterday.
That's your Bible knowledge? That's awesome.
Yeah. I did watch the episode where they put Cartman on the cross because Randy can't get, or knows Kyle's dad couldn't get an erection, and they thought it was resurrection, and so they put Cartman up on the cross. That's a very funny episode. Yeah, that's all I've got. Like, I had my little Bible as a kid. I don't have much Bible knowledge. My wife could probably tell me anything I need to know.
Did your mom used to dress you in like the white shirt with the little bow tie?
I went to
when you go
church. Yeah, I went to church as a kid. My grandma always went to church as a kid. Yeah.
I can see Jeremy with his little white shirt. especially the Jeremy, 6-year-old Jeremy from the slime video. Little 6-year-old Jeremy with his white shirt, black slacks, little bow tie. He got a little jacket on.
Just a little jacket.
He's probably an altar boy. He was probably an altar boy.
Oh, careful now. People get touched in those predicaments.
Oh, well, I ain't say all of that.
That's
I don't
fine.
say all of that.
That's fine.
We talking about the year like 1983. That's when he was like that age.
You know, Sting already pitched a mega church pay-per-view. Incredibly apt. What are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, what a show. This is why people watch our show, because we do this.
Yeah, we've talked about Raw for all of like 10 minutes.
See, we're just like I'm talking about an AEW pay-per-view on Busted Open.
So we should just do our 3-way challenge, 5-star booker. See who's the best booker between the three of us. Yeah.
I didn't think I'd have to stay this long.
I didn't think you were staying this long either. But you're here.
You started talking about
we should see who is the best booker between the three of us.
No, it's gonna be you. I'm not gonna try.
No, it's not. Jeremy's got the highest score on air so far. He didn't let me play, but to be fair, he does have the highest score.
He was also sleep deprived.
He was.
That kind of makes it worse.
Yeah. That is true. That is kind of true.
He's getting Bible tips from his wife right now.
Apparently.
That's why he's not paying attention. That's why we're muted.
Yes, Alexis Bliss Gamer. Raquel Rodriguez is the new Women's Intercontinental Champion.
Nosebleed and all. Was it the moonsault? The moonsault.
Yeah, I think it was the moonsault. I think Soul's knee hit her face.
Sorry, man. It's time to let Saul work the house show loop for a while. It was not a good match. She hasn't been performing very well. It
wasn't a good reign.
No, it wasn't. It's time to do something with difference with Saul and get her back to it. I thought it was going to be Lyra, but I guess I don't know. That's also not going to happen because Raquel's a heel. So I don't know where that's going to go. Who's the baby face who's going to win that title? Is it going to be Roxanne when they break up the Judgment Day?
Becky Lynch turns babyface.
I guess, and then Lyra and Becky again.
Yep.
Where's Bailey?
Except the roles are reversed now.
I guess. I mean, I'd like this.
It's all new.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with y'all. Like, I know that a lot of people are excited for Raquel, and I think that she has worked hard to improve. I said this when Maxine won the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and I'm still on this with Raquel winning the title. I don't necessarily feel everyone that works hard deserves to win a championship.
I agree.
And maybe I'm different from most of y'all that are happy, but just because Raquel's worked hard, I can't go out and say, oh, she really earned this. She really earned this. I'm just like, no, she worked hard to improve. I don't know if she's worked hard or if she's over enough to be a champion. I think that you have to have a certain level of connection with the audience to hold any title in WWE. To me personally, I don't know about y'all.
No, that's right. Shout out to Sami Zayn getting a participation trophy championship.
No, you just need you deserve it chance.
And this is awesome chance.
Just you deserve it, and yeah. All right, so sorry, I had to deal with stuff.
It's okay. When you walked off, I thought you were going to go get busy.
No, I mean, I was giving my wife a kiss because she's about to leave. So, no, things are stupid. People are stupid. So I just had to. That's that. I do probably need to go here shortly. So.
So we can't do our battle.
Yeah,
we'll have to wait till Thursday.
Yeah, we can do it on Thursday or another day.
We'll work it out for another time.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Brock Lesnar weighs.
Oh wait, what are we doing? Reviewing Raw? This sounds terrible.
Why are we still talking about Raw?
Because he started talking about the Sol Ruca because someone wanted to, and I was just like,
no, someone mentioned Raquel won the Women's Intercontinental Championship. That was worth mentioning from the show. There was a title change.
Sure.
That's it.
Okay, well, that's it.
The best part of the show was Solo Sikoa.
The only good part of the show was
Yeah.
Solo Sikoa. I see people in the chat be like, "Oh, Raquel was good. Ethan Page was in a good matchup," but I can't necessarily say he was a highlight of the show. It was a good match that I'm not going to remember next week. Congratulations, Ray and Ethan.
Yeah, just Solo Sikoa. That's it. That's all. Outside good wise, that's all I remembered was Solo Sikoa.
Pow, pew, 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 pow, pow.
Dude, Wade Keller was brutal on this show.
What, he hated it?
Was he?
Oh, I'm just reading. So this is after the Royce Key. This is after the Usos and Solo segment.
Are you reading his report?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've been listening to his radio throughout the morning.
I hope Levesque and his team, if they still have jobs after this SummerSlam build, look at the total lack of crowd reaction for this storyline, in particular as evidence against the muddled character philosophy they've been leaning into lately.
You know what?
This is one of the most convoluted dynamics of a WWE feud I've ever seen.
Yeah, he did go into it on his.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Yeah, nobody works here. Like nobody's working anyway in this whole dynamic.
Yeah.
But that's also not. Like most of the show right now. It's either they just want to chant something or, get a spot and get a moment. And it's like, give me something to cheer for. Give me someone to cheer for. Give me a baby face. Give me a heel. Like it's not hard. It's really not. And this was something like even Brian Alvarez was saying the same thing. And we've been saying it. It's like, it shouldn't be this difficult. It shouldn't be this convoluted. You pick someone to cheer. You pick someone to boo. You want to go with that person. The idea of like the stands, fuck the stands. They're not the ones paying to get the tickets. They're not the ones. They're watching on whatever, TV, socials, whatever it is, and they're commenting for their people. They're ride or die. That's fine. You do that. But like talk to the audience that are paying to come to see the show, that are watching every week, that want to get invested in the story. Don't tell me that, because they love this person so much that, they love Roman so much so they got to cheer for Roman. No, they don't. Roman's a piece of shit. Let him be a piece of shit. Get Rollins, as cheesy and as whatever as he is, like just get him over as the babyface in this match. It shouldn't be that hard.
But no, it is hard with Seth Rollins right now because Seth Rollins has been cutting the same promo just in law of diminishing returns every freaking week. He said the same thing he's been saying for 12 years. 12 years he's been saying the same thing. Oh, you were born on second base. I had to work really hard. Oh, I'm better than you in the ring. That doesn't freaking matter. That's why every word that Roman says to him, regardless of the little to no effort that he put in that promo last night, his words hold a whole lot more meaning than anything Seth says. When Roman tells Seth, I'm the only real champion around here. I'm the only real star around here. That makes me feel like when Seth says something, I'm like, okay, I'm seeing the wrestling character Seth Rollins say what the WWE writers want him to say to the wrestling character Roman Reigns. When Roman says something to Seth, I'm like, that's Joe Anoa'i saying something to Kobe Lopez. Like that is a person who is saying, you are beneath me. Stay there.
This segment did nothing. I even told Joel, I was like, I don't want to do another Roman Seth thumbnail. I have no talking point out
Dude,
of this.
I said the same thing to Romeo for True Hill Heat. I was like, I know him. He'll put Roman and Seth on the cover. And I was like, put Danhausen and Joe Hendry, because that's the biggest thing from the show.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst segments ever. That's way more noteworthy than anything Roman did, Seth did. Brock and Oba had one of their worst segments that they've ever done together, where Brock locks up Oba and his freaking boss in a steel cage that can simply be removed by pressing a button. Dude, it was just like,
you could do that. It's like, put up the cage. You could easily...
you just say, Oba, raise the cage.
And then, of course, you have Oba beating up security guards again.
Oba beating up security guards was so dumb to me. Because
no reason for it. And then he also almost dumped one on his head. That could have been really bad. Turned into a Dominator instead of a
that dude kind of sandbagged him.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah, but I was just like, why is he just like randomly beating up these security. Like, this is the baby face. Why? They're not arresting him or anything. They're not doing anything to him. Like, okay, he's mad. Go break the door down. I've seen Brock Lesnar rip the door off of its hinges to get inside. Go do that if you want to go at this guy. Instead, he just beat up security, which, like, I'm not a person who is like, well, why wasn't he arrested type thing? Because, I mean, he should have been. You don't just needlessly attack security guards. But I am a person of like, this made no sense to just do this.
They established last week that the cops are fake. So why did they have the cops again this week?
It's just
because no.
Well, these were real because the cops were fake for Paul Heyman, but these were real cops.
Paul Heyman sent the cops into the cage.
Not these cops.
No. These cops were already there.
Yeah, these cops are already there.
But why are we using cops after you just established that they're fake cops and this is also fake cops?
Well, no, because it's not those cops that brought Oba to the ring for the thing last night. Those were considered to be, quote, real cops that WWE brought in from the state of California. So that was that. But again, we're talking in canon here. The ones that Paul had that he brought to the ring, those were fake cops. And we discovered that in canon because Adam Pearce told Oba there will be no charges pressed. That was them tying up that loose end. Last night was just like, he's going to beat up people anyway, because I guess Oba's a loose cannon, even though he's very clearly not a loose cannon.
No, they clearly established he wasn't a loose cannon because Triple H looked right at him on camera and said, go ahead. I don't know if anybody else, maybe I'm the only one who peeped that they literally panned the camera too quickly over to Oba, and I saw Triple H look at him like, go ahead. And he pointed to the cops on camera. I was like, how did production catch that? Like, why am I seeing that? I shouldn't see that. If this is like on the fly improv for Oba to beat up the cops, I shouldn't see Triple H giving him the direction on camera.
Triple H should be arrested.
Well, he has enough crimes on his jacket here.
That segment sucked.
It was bad. It was bad.
The whole show wasn't good.
Yeah, this build has not been good for SummerSlam, and they're going to see what that looks like, on Saturday and Sunday. There will be, 35,000 people both nights because they finally got to the point where the tickets are so cheap that they can almost paper the town, but they're going to see. They'll tout the numbers, but then they'll find out how much people paid, and they'll have to.
It's still going to do a huge gate and all this stuff.
No.
I don't think they'll be talking about a record-breaking gate. They might say
no,
it's the biggest gate we've ever done in Minnesota. They'll say it's the biggest one they've ever done in Minnesota for a 2-day event that happened in August of 2026. They'll find a way to spin it, but coming out of the financials, not that anyone's going to fucking care at this point, but the people who pay attention will see that it was not as big as it could have been or should have been.
Yeah, especially for a show they announced 2 years ago.
Yeah, well,
they did announce it.
We talked about it. Again, there are people in Minnesota that were just like, this isn't WrestleMania. This wasn't what we were promised. We were told this would be the first 2-night SummerSlam, and then it wasn't. So clearly we're just getting another SummerSlam at our venue, and you did a bad job of building it.
Damn, who been screwed over worse, Minnesota or New Orleans?
New Orleans is getting that show.
Yeah, New Orleans. New Orleans. They got WrestleMania announced and taken away.
That's true.
Yeah, it's New Orleans. Like, Minnesota was promised a WrestleMania, sure, but they got that shit announced. And at least Minnesota is getting 2-night SummerSlam, which, feel how you feel. New Orleans got Money in the Bank 2 months after it typically gets scheduled.
Yeah.
Like,
they got it that, and they got an IOU. They got a piece of paper on it that says IOU.
Yeah, New Orleans got it way worse.
Mania.
They got The Rock coming out saying WrestleMania New Orleans and then doing a press conference, and then 2 months later being like, anyway, we're going back to Vegas. New Orleans got totally fucked. They didn't even get a 2-night event of like, hey, you can get Royal Rumble, you can get SummerSlam, you can get Survivor Series. Here's Money in the Bank. Oh, by the way, instead of July when it always is, it's now September.
It's going to be in
August.
Yeah, instead of
October.
Then it's no. It's going to be a week later in September, and then we got October.
Yeah, New Orleans got totally fucked. I don't think it's close, honestly. Sorry for Minnesota. You guys at least knew 2 years in advance you were getting a 2-night SummerSlam, but
Oh my God, good shout. That's right. He came out to block his
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah, New Orleans.
So
New Orleans
funny.
got nothing.
All
Brother.
timer.
Like,
All timer.
yeah,
It's okay. They'll get their WrestleMania in 3 years.
Maybe.
Sure,
Debatable.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll find out. Listen, maybe Saudi will get their WrestleMania because we still don't have a date for it. Everyone's playing
There you
chicken. Anyway, that was Raw.
All right. So, what did we accomplish today, guys?
There's a time for concerts. There's a time for literally anything else other than that segment from last night's Raw that sucked.
I agree. Jeremy?
The biggest thing we accomplished today is I learned that there's way too much wrestling on August 30th, and it's all taking place at the same time, apparently. And I'm ready to quit.
That was the best part of today's show. I will
Yeah,
say.
he sounded like me.
Gosh. SP3, what did we accomplish today?
We let Jeremy know that about the scheduling for shows on August 30th. I think that's where we accomplished the most.
Oh, you suck. What was your moment of Monday, Joel?
I told you there's a time for concerts and there's a
That's what we accomplished. We accomplish it, and it's your moment.
Oh, I thought we're doing moments now.
Yeah.
Just moment of Monday.
Do you listen to him? He
No.
literally said
He
that.
doesn't. He doesn't listen. This has long been
not.
established. Yeah.
He just said whatever he wanted to say.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Hold on. Someone's saying Saudi has a date. They're doing Mania watch parties at the MSG Theater. D-Train, go on the internet and find me those dates and report back to me what those dates are. I would love to hear them. Thank you. When you know, please let us know, because that would be a huge circumstance given the fact that they have not, in fact, announced the dates yet. Anyway, and coming this April is not the answer. So, would you? Yes. What did we? No, we did. What did we accomplish? My moment of Tuesday was, or Monday was, coming home and sleeping in my own bed last night because I was exhausted. I cannot even tell you. So there you go.
What was your moment, SP3?
When Alex pressed X end stream.
I feel that.
My moment of Monday was this Yo Bonin shot. Pew pew pew.
I understand that.
That was hilarious. Bless him. I was to circle back around to South Park stuff. When Solo kept doing that, he's like, "Pow, pew, 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 pow, pow." I kept thinking of the episode where Solo. What?
I know which one you're thinking of. The no,
not that one.
Okay.
No, it's Little Crime Stoppers, and the four of them they're playing like detective and stuff, and they're into like the shootout, and Cartman's like bang 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 bang, and Kenny is like pew pew, and Cartman's like no. Kenny goes, a gun goes bang bang bang, not pew pew pew. That's all I was thinking of when Solo was doing that. No, not the finger bang episode, everybody. It's Little Crime Stoppers. Go watch that episode. All right. Joel and I will be back tomorrow. Maybe Tony Khan will join us to counter her program
11:30.
Triple H on Busted Open.
That'd be very funny.
D-Train has admitted his mistake, so
I appreciate you standing corrected. I'm on the Emphasis Theater website. They have not. There's nothing snuck in here. So there you go.
Joel and I will be back tomorrow. Myself and SP3 on Thursday. Probably Joel and SP3 on Friday. I might stop in for like 5 or 10 minutes. I'm actually going to go try to enjoy my life for a day and get away from wrestling before this busy wrestling weekend. Joel, do you have anything to plug?
Joel Pro Working over on YouTube. That's where a bunch of stuff is, and it's collaborating with this channel. So go check those out and press subscribe on this and the other channel, would you please? Nick's CXS interview either late this week or early next week. Haven't decided yet.
SP3, let everyone know where you're reviewing Raw in an hour.
True Hill SP3 on Twitter, True Hill Heat Wrestling on YouTube, 105 or 110 p.m. Eastern Time. Me and Top Guy JJ reviewing Monday Night Raw from last night. You'll get the review that you probably came to this show for. And over on True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment, we got True Hill Heat Check talking about the LeBron James trade to the Philadelphia 76ers. And we got our review of every single live action Spider-Man film over there on the channel as well. Check it out before Brand New Day drops on Friday.
I'm going back and not rewatching, but watching the entire trilogy so far, the Tom Holland trilogy. Before
I just got done with the Rami season or series. We reviewed that. I watched The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 for the first time. Oh my God, that's two of the worst films I've ever seen. And now I'm watching the Tom Holland trilogy.
Which Spider-Man was the Amazing Spider-Man?
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. I never saw those. I heard they were terrible.
The second one is one of the worst films I've ever seen in life.
Okay, I want to watch that now.
Yeah, you should. No, honestly, like I felt pain watching it, but I feel like everybody should have that pain, so we can see like what a bad Spider-Man film is. So when we get the great one on Friday, we all good.
I'm watching the Tom Holland trilogy.
I watched Homecoming yesterday. It's so good. It reminds me so much of like a live action of the animated series more than it's actual film.
It's really good so far. We haven't finished it yet because we watch it all with planks, so we're watching it in like 12-minute chunks. But yeah, it's really good so far. All right. I don't have anything to plug, and Joel and I will be here tomorrow talking NXT.
We'll see. But by the way, I just want to say there's been a spike in our viewership, and thank you for that. That rules.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, we're doing good stuff. So thanks for everyone who's been a part of this ride. It's been a lot of fun.
Don't post me on Reddit anymore.
I don't know if that's one of us.
That's all I'm asking. Well, it's somebody, and I don't want it.
Twitter is a vast wasteland. You can be found anywhere.
Until then, thank you everybody for the support, the love, all that good stuff. Appreciate the super chats. Appreciate everybody who tapped the bell and commented and all that fun stuff. We'll be back tomorrow, myself and Joel. Until then, everybody, see you then.